Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Color Commentary. I'm your host, Culler. Glad to be back after a week-long hiatus. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. Always glad to have you. It's my pleasure to bring you about an hour or so long of talk about our favorite football team, the Miami Dolphins. How's everybody tonight? Vaughn, Joe, I see you. Marino's GOAT. Tonk 7, how you doing, buddy? Q, Carla, California, Big Drip, glad you're all here. Aqua, John, glad to see all of you tonight. While you got a second, everybody, like and share the video. Let everybody know we're going live right now. You'll get more people in the chat to talk to. Subscribe if you haven't. And make sure you're catching out everything we got here at the Fins Tailgate, which is Capitan every night, 10 o'clock. You know the drill. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 10 o'clock. You got Tonk TMI, Tuesday nights at 9 with myself co-hosting. You got me, Color Commentary, Thursday nights, 10 o'clock. I'm back now. Computer crashed last night. I'm here tonight. I barely made it. But we also got Ali on Saturday nights, who will be doing a special show this week on Saturday. Bring the smoke. He wants everybody to bring the smoke. Whatever it is, doesn't even have to be about Dolphins. Whatever you got, just bring him some smoke. He wants it to be fiery. Great show over there. It's should be the third installment this week. Getting off the ground running really strong. Thanks to Ali. Great addition to our team. If you guys need anything from Fanatics, they are the official They do have all the official licensed gear. You could use the link in the description below to let them know we sent you, please. That would be great. And you can also check out our gear. Flip-flops to cool your feet. Sweaters to warm your body. Head. Or cool off. And we got hats. And we also have now a flag. And as everybody knows, when you got a flag, you got a stake. So there you go. Everybody get your TFTG flag, fly it with pride, put it right next to your Miami Dolphins flag. I think I'm going to stick mine like right over here, maybe move this around a little bit. It's coming. So it's been a while. I'm a little slow tonight. I got my computer crashed last night. That's why you didn't see me on the open mic panel. And I've been spending all day trying to get this thing going. So I've got a backup computer, which fortunately was close enough to work with my hard drive, so I didn't have to do a complete reinstall and all that. But I might be working through some technical difficulties, and so that's on the back of my mind, just letting you guys know. I could probably get a little discombobulated. So we're just going to start with a couple headlines. I don't got a lot in the non-Dolphins world as far as headlines. Only a couple that pertain to us. How you doing, Wooback? Good to see you. So over at SI, as somebody pointed out in chat, which was California, I believe. No, King Mill. How you doing, King Mill? Yeah, so it looks like Fitz retired, Ryan Fitzpatrick. And there's already a report as SI from Nick Selby 7 hours ago. Fitz is already in talks for broadcasting gig per report. On the same day, he reportedly decided to call it a career. Veteran quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick apparently has his sights set on the broadcast booth. So it looks like we got some booth magic coming. Fitzpatrick would be joining a crew that already hosts multiple former NFL stars, including Marshawn Lynch, Tony Gonzalez, and Richard Sherman over at the Thursday Night Football coverage on Amazon Prime, according to the article. Fitz played for 9 teams in his 17-year NFL career, most notably for the Bills. He consistently bounced around the league as a backup, but often found himself as a team starter before long. He had his most success with Buffalo, playing in 55 games, throwing for 80 touchdowns and over 11,000 passing yards. And looks like Amazon has already hired Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit as their in-game broadcasters. So there's that. Good for Fitz. I'm glad to see former Miami Dolphin. Anybody who wore our uniform gets my respect. And, good to see him trying to go to the booth. I'd really like to see him in color commentary. I mean, that would be awesome to hear Fitz. I mean, can you imagine that, guys? How about Fitz and Romo? Maybe Fitz on the field, Romo in the booth, So that's pretty cool. Shout out to Fitz. So it also looks like Frank Gore, former Miami Hurricane. Hashtag Canes Chain, everybody. Make sure you just put that everywhere you can. Twitter, Facebook. By the way, if you're over on Twitter and Facebook or Twitch, head over and give us a subscribe on YouTube. We'd greatly appreciate it. You can get back over there and watch it on your favorite platform. But everybody, make sure you hashtag Canes Chain everywhere. And congrats to Frank Gore on a stellar career. I mean, absolute dog. I don't know anybody that came out of the Hurricanes that's more a dog than that Hurricane right there. So it appears, according to SI, Michael Shapiro, Frank Gore's NFL career is coming to an end. A 16-year veteran is expected to sign a one-day contract with the 49ers Thursday before he officially retires, according to Cam Inman of the Bay Area News Group. Gore spent the first 10 years in San Francisco after being selected in the 4th round of the 2005 NFL Draft. The 39-year-old ranks 3rd all-time with 16,000 rushing yards. He amassed 81 career rushing touchdowns, 64 of which came with San Francisco. He played for the Colts, the Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills, and New York Jets after his time in San Francisco. No contract has been signed as of Thursday. Gore last played in 2020 when he rushed for 653 yards and 2 touchdowns. So shout out to Frank Gore, 16-year running back. I mean, you'll just never see that again. He may be the last time we ever see a running back have that length of a career. That is absolutely amazing. What an absolute beast. So, shout out Hurricane Frank Gore. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you retiring where you belong. Get your nut, man. Good job. So, that's all the news I have. Wooback says Tua needs Pop Smoke music in his life. Gets you hyped. Yeah. I always like reggae, man. Reggae and ska music it just makes me so happy every time I'm listening to it. It's the most delightful music on the planet. But that's my preference. But so I happened to come across an interview this morning from an obscure YouTube channel, which still the video only has. I tweeted it, but it still only has 155 views, which is really amazing to me. This is an interview with from a gentleman named Brett Tremblay. Shout out to Brett Tremblay. Get over to his page and give him a subscribe. He's only got 110 subscribers. So everybody get over there and subscribe to Brett Tremblay. That's Tremblay IRL.
Yeah, shout out to this cat for getting a good deal, and shout out to you, Culler, for finding it too, man. It's a pretty good snag you found. Good for that guy.
His father did an interview with this gentleman, and they go on to talk about family and things like that. But I wanted to kind of give you, bring this video to you guys, this interview to you guys, and kind of break it down. I don't know if any of y'all got to see it or not, but let's do it. Go ahead and start at. Do me a favor, Capitan, if you could start at the 31-second mark.
To the Tua Foundation. So really, really cool. And I know you're very appreciative for that. Just want to thank you again for joining us. Now, you're back in Tuscaloosa right now because there was another luau for Tua last night.
Yes.
You guys have been hard at work raising money for charity because we had the luau in Miami on Saturday night. You guys turned right around and had another one last night in Tuscaloosa. So you guys have been burning it at both ends.
Yes. It's been hard work, but good work.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's back up a little bit. When did you start to notice that Tua, your son, could have some special skills as a quarterback? Was it really earlier, or was he a late developer?
My focus at the time when my kids were young, just get work in. Even though I knew that Tua was doing well, but I never knew the competition out there because we're in Hawaii, right?
Right.
But I wanted to kind of like take his talent to a different level. At the time, I didn't really know. If what I was looking at was something special.
I'm sure some people are wondering or assume that football was everything to you guys, and I know it's important. But
I can't hear it through StreamYard. I don't know why.
I don't know. It should be playing fine. Huh. You're telling me, you guys, everybody, You're not hearing the video?
I'm not hearing you either in StreamYard. You guys are
What?
hearing me, right?
Ali says he can hear it. You can't hear me, Culler? That's on your end, bro.
All right. Well, it's not really a super long video. I mean, give me a second. I don't know why I can't hear anything in StreamYard.
Emphasis on family as well. So what was the balance like between grade and family and having balance, or was it like at a certain
Culler, drop in and out? Maybe that'll help. Can you hear me? Uh-oh, guys. There you go. Drop in and out, Culler.
Oh,
technical difficulties.
I'm sorry, guys. I know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody make sure, because I also, I spent 10 years. I think I can hear you now, Capitan.
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
I spent like most of my career in IT, and it don't matter how long you've been in IT, you always forget rule number 1 of A+ troubleshooting: check your connections. So yeah, somehow my
is it plugged in? That's the first thing they ask you.
My Bose speaker system has this little touchpad basically to turn it on and off, and it's very sensitive apparently.
Well, let's get to the interview then.
All right, go ahead, man.
At the time, I didn't really know. I didn't really know if what I was looking at was something special.
I'm sure some people are wondering or assume that football was everything to you guys, and I know it's important, but you have such an emphasis on family as well. So what was the balance like between grades and family and having balance, or was it like at a certain moment all football all the time?
There was a time where we talked, me and my wife, and we sat down, and I told her that my job was to get the boys right on the field. And it was her job to get the boys right, with their studies and school, and off the field thing. Man, she did a great job with the boys, and even with my girls. A lot of people don't know that I have 2 girls, because, they concentrate so much on Tua and Talia, with the press that they've been getting. But I also have 2 beautiful girls, and that's the same thing with them. They don't really play sport, but it's more of the grind now with school and everything else.
Shout out to Tua's mom, because if she's anything like my mom, we don't get Tua without her. So yeah, shout out to all the moms out there. They're all the ones making sure he's got the right cleats and whatever else, what I mean? Bringing them all the different places, McDonald's, all that stuff. So,
sports fans know about Talia, or Leah, as you guys call him. Originally also went to Alabama, and now he's in Maryland, where he is, one of the front runners for conference offensive player of the year. There's a lot of hype surrounding him. So, he's making a name for himself.
Yeah, that's what he always wanted. He wanted to be his own person. That's one of the reasons why he left Alabama. He wanted to be known as, Talia, making a difference, creating his own legacy as a player, being at Alabama and also at Thompson High School in Alabaster, where we're at. He was always known as Tua's little brother, at Thompson High School. So it's something that he wanted, and we respected that, and we allowed him to make that decision.
Something I've thought about, Culler, on Tua's brother. Like, although his brother, Tua, being, he's accomplished quite a bit as a college football player, and, he's top 5 draft pick, it's still early in his career. I think we all expect great things of him. but as a younger brother to him, being a quarterback as well, quite a shadow cast. And I respected his brother going to a different team than Alabama for trying to make his own bones. Because really, you can't really say he's going his own way because he's a quarterback too. But having it done his own way, I found that very admirable of his brother. I thought, you know what? I see what he's kind of doing. He could have, rode the coattails of his brother and did that. But obviously, the Tagovailoa family have a very high moral character. And
I'm starting to see that, and I think that
it's something to be admired. You know what I'm saying?
And it is, and a lot of times, when you're like that, and you're dealing with somebody else that can be a similar personality, you know how that happens, man. That's never gonna be good.
Well,
but one thing's for certain, and the reason I had brought this video. And I was happy to be able to watch it this morning and share it to whoever follows me, was because I've been kind of critical about to his father, not necessarily him and
as a person,
how he raises his kids or anything or a person, but just being kind of maybe a little too close to his professional son. You know what I mean? But
again, you can't fault the father for being a father. But
no,
I know what you're saying.
The
more we dig, the more we find of, I don't want to say the business part, but the humane part of the Tagovailoas. It's a beautiful thing. It's
and that's the thing, and having
a little more.
And having watched the interview, it kind of got me thinking maybe I probably should not speak on such matters. You know what I mean?
Real quick, Culler. I would say this. I would venture to say that the Tagovailoa family, his father probably at the foremost front of this, know what it's like to have criticism and have hardened themselves to be prepared for it. And also don't probably view criticism as most people do, as much as they don't want to be like a doubters prove me wrong, but are able to be, I don't want to say forgiving either, because people can be critical. Now, there's just being an asshole and being a mean-spirited person. But I would imagine that they have, I don't know, thicker skin.
It's as far as my part goes, it's like maybe I have a good point to be made about, him kind of easing back and, the whole, I equated it to like Finding Nemo, I think, at one time.
California's kind of got it. Old school upbringing. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit more old school upbringing. Something I can identify with personally, that, when someone's critical of me and how I do things, and they're like, oh, you slacked here, or, you cut corners there. I don't take it offensively. And I don't even like a lot of people to defend me. In fact, that embarrasses me. To me, it more along the lines tells me I need to do more or harder. And I would imagine that the Tagovailoa family doesn't take so much embarrassment or shame in it as much as, and it's not to prove the doubters wrong to bring them to the ground. It's to prove yourself right. And there's a nobility factor in there. And it's something I'm recognizing more and more inside the Tagovailoa family. Not that I didn't see it before. It's just something that you got to
And it just made me think too. I've made the Finding Nemo analogy in the past as kind of a little bit of a slight, but with Tua being injured, it even makes more sense. But the thing of it is I may have a good point in saying those things about easing up on the reins and all that, but
100%.
Is it really my place to say it?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, honestly, Culler, as somebody like myself, and we're doing this, we've made a platform to say things. That's
it. Well, sure. But I think maybe I brought it a little unfairly. Maybe I should have, I feel like I said, after watching the interview, I highly respect to his father. I think
I don't hold anyone, any one moment, unless it's a murder or a rape outside of something vile to human existence. Everyone is allotted forgiveness, number one, and growth. And I think people that are hardened by old school, like you said there, Wubak, by old school family upbringing, they understand allowing people to grow and be better.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of us Miami fans, Miami Hurricanes fans, hoping that when Leo was transferring, he was going to end up down here. How cool that would have been for us. But he landed in a great spot with a coaching staff that you guys trust, and he's really thriving at Maryland.
You know, Coach Loxley has been Tua's offensive coordinator, you know, over at Alabama when Coach Loxley was under, you know, Coach Saban, you know. But at the same time, too, you know, we can't forget Coach Saban and that organization and what Coach Saban has done, you know, for our son Tua, then also for Leah, just helping him, you know, be a better person, you know, working with his character and who he is and moving forward. You know what I mean? We needed his blessing for Talia to actually transfer out, and he gave Talia his blessing, and you know, even though he didn't want to, but he supported it.
What was it like during the recruiting process? Because like you said, you're out in Hawaii, right? And you're judging against Hawaiian competition. But then in high school, you know, Tua started going, he went to the Elite 11 where Trent Dilfer was the coach, and there's film from that. And then he starts going to sort of some national competitions and stuff. So what was that process like?
The Elite 11 process, they have regions at different, you know, different states. And I guess for kids in Hawaii, they would have to fly to California to kind of compete at, you know, one of the regions out there to be selected. So they select 24 QBs to be at that main facility, to where from 24, they break it down to 12, you know, and that's how they create that elite. It's called Elite 11, but, you know, I don't know why there's 12 quarterbacks. You know, so he got into that, and wherever you were kind of like committed to, they would put you with that quarterback.
Okay.
So
yeah, so there's a part coming up where he talks about when he got the call from Alabama and how he handled it, because he wasn't sure if it was wasn't sure if it was a prank call. Is kind of what I gathered. That's coming up here in a second.
He had Najee, he had Jerry Jeudy, and some of the other guys that were, you know, part of his team at that Elite 11. And no, we just kind of went out there and supported him and his team, and, you know, watched how they did things. And, you know, we just thank and praise the Lord that, you know, he came out successful. You know, he won it all and became the MVP of that, you know, that Elite 11.
Tell us about the recruiting process, because I think it's something a lot of sports fans follow but don't completely understand.
You know, it was before the Elite 11, but you know, they had Lane Kiffin come out and kind of watch Tua throw. That Tosh Lupoy, when Tosh was with Alabama, you know, come out there and, you know, kind of watch him play. They even had Sarks come out, you know, and kind of looked at Tua and stuff. But, you know, it all started with, you know, with Tosh Lupoy and his relationship with the Polynesian kids. And Tosh had talked with Lane Kiffin. You know, Lane had to look at Tua and see how Tua was. And, you know, he had to report back to Saban, you know, so they kind of got some films together with Coach Saban and showed Coach, and let Coach know that, you know, that this kid was, you know, the top dual threat, you know, quarterback that was coming out during that year. And then I got a call. You know, I got a call from Tosh Lupoy, you know, and he had asked me if I was Tua's dad, and I said, yes, sir. And he said, well, I'm Tosh Lupoy. I'm calling from the University of Alabama. And I was like, wait. You're calling from where? It's like, I'm calling from the University of Alabama, and we're really interested in your kid. And, you know, and I'm like, okay, wait, I know Lane Kiffin is the OC. Yeah. And he said, yeah, Lane Kiffin is the OC. And I said, well, can I speak to Lane Kiffin? You know, because, I mean, I didn't really believe, Tosh, that, you know, they were calling from Alabama.
Right.
So he told me, well, hold on, because Lane is on the treadmill right now.
I'm pretty sure it went more like, yo, put Lane Kiffin on the phone. Who's this? Quit this nonsense and put Lane Kiffin on the phone. Go ahead. Oh, good.
You know damn good and well he was thinking to himself, yeah, whatever. Like,
I'm sure it wasn't a
hi, how
polite.
you doing? This is Michael Jordan on the phone. Yeah, sure it is, asshole. Click. You know what I'm saying? Like you,
Exactly.
even when your son's a highly
Who the
touted
hell is this?
quarterback.
Put Lane Kiffin on the phone.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, bro. Don't telling me. You must have been. I mean, what? As a father, I could only hope that a super great organization calls looking to get my son on their football team one day. It's got to be a jubilation thing, you know. That's why I love the draft, bro. Love that. It's nothing but dreams are made. You know, some are crushed, but for the most part, it's just dream come trues all over the place.
Right on.
So, oh, okay. So then when I got Lane Kiffin on the phone, and Lane was like, "Hey, man, this is Coach Lane Kiffin." I was like, man, I was shocked, and I was like, "Hey, Coach, how you doing?" You know, and Coach is like, "Man, we're interested in your son. We want to offer him." And then they offered Tua, and I was, you know, I was just tripping out. I was flipping, you know. And then he had asked if it was okay for Coach Saban to call, or what would be a good time for Coach Saban to call. And I'm like, man, he could call any time. And then our way home, it was me, my wife, and Tua. And then
I'll
Coach
get
called.
to him later.
You know, we were talking with Coach. Man, we had to pull off on the side of the freeway, you know what I'm saying, of the interstate.
Mm-hmm.
It'd have been funny if Tua's dad's like, you make sure he calls me at 7 p.m. my time. It's like freaking, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning at their time and stuff like that. You know, it's just, you're like, whatever. I mean, Mr. Saban, call me now. What do you mean? What are you talking about? You know, it's like, I know, like, it's got to be a surreal moment.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we had Tua talking to Coach Saban, and me and my wife was just so emotional, you know.
Yeah.
She was crying, and she's like, man, Alabama, who gets the call from Coach Saban? And, you know, I kind of got emotional, and I was like, I don't know, you know, it's like we had to pinch each other, like, hey, is this
I'm pretty sure the whole neighborhood knew that what happened at that point.
I told Tua to put it on speaker because I wanted to hear Coach's voice.
You mean the whole island found out the next day?
And so he did that, and that's how all that kind of, you know, worked out, and it was such a blessing. It was such a blessing.
Yeah. So Tua commits, ends up enrolling at Alabama, and you guys, did you move right away when you know, right when he moved out? Did you move the family out to Alabama?
Well, the plan was for my wife to move out to Alabama, you know, and I was going to stay back because Talia was still in high school, and then she told me that I am not leaving my kids. Said, I will leave you behind. You can work. I'm gonna take our kids, but I'm not gonna leave my kids. And we prayed on it, and we decided that, you know what, that's what families do. You know, they relocate with their kids, and, you know, they want to, you know, watch their kids grow. And I stayed back home, and I worked for a while, and, you know, just traveling back and forth, it got expensive. And, you know, she was just telling me that, you know, you can always get another job.
Yeah.
But you can never get these memories back. You know what I'm saying?
Forget expensive. Man, it was hard enough to fly out to Colorado, man.
You know what, though? I love what he said there, and where the family came to the agreement that we might never get another shot for our son like this. And it's different for them. Like, being not stateside alone is just a pain in the butt. Don't get me wrong, there's flights going in and out of Hawaii all the time. But if, God forbid, there was an emergency, like God forbid when Tua got injured with his hip, they weren't close enough to be with their son. Now you had to fly for a day and a half to get to him. A mother or father,
that's a long flight, dude.
Oh, hell yeah, it is. It's the worst flight of your life. You can't
not
do
only
as a parent. You feel
not only is it like uncomfortably long, but the more times you're in the air, you know what I mean? Let's face it, you know what I mean? You kind of don't want to be in the air that many times in your life, man.
Well, I'm just saying, it not for nothing. You can't get to your son when they need you.
I mean, we're not birds, you know what I mean?
I don't think of it so much in that.
Well, you know, I mean.
So she had asked me, hey, we got to take that risk and move out here and try to find a job out here. So that's what we did. I pulled out my savings. We sold our house and moved out here, got a place, and made that sacrifice.
That's the real behind just what people see on TV, right? They see the tip of the iceberg. But okay, have to ask about the national championship game, right? Tua's a freshman. Jalen Hurts is in a quarterback. Bama's undefeated. We all know the story, right? Playing Georgia, halftime comes, and out of the locker room, Tua's going to start the second half. Walk us through that moment, because like nobody can even imagine what you guys were going through at the time.
This is probably, look, we've heard Tua, we kind of get that part. We've heard him explain it, but this is a great part to hear from the father looking at his son, the family's perspective in this moment. I'm interested to see this, right?
Yeah, I also am interested in the fact that what he says about to his counterpart on the sideline also. That's kind of interesting.
Coach Saban is one of them coaches that he's going to live and die with who he has on the field, and the reason why he thinks that way is because he trusts his players and he trusts his coaches. I don't know what happened behind the scenes in the locker room. And, I was just told by Tua that, coach had talked to him and Jalen and told him that, told Jalen, I'm going to start Tua the second half. And, I want you to be a good teammate. And Tua, just remember that, there's a possibility where you guys might be taking reps, going into the second half. But we want you guys to support each other. And they did that,
Yeah.
Tua was very, very happy with Jalen and his response to it, and he really respected Jalen. But it's about being a player and being a backup and understanding what your role is. And when you get called, to go in and help the team and make something happen, that was his role, at the time. So, Tua was called up to, take on that position to go out and compete and work the second half. And he did it. It was amazing. I mean, when we saw him going in, we were like, I was stunned.
Yeah.
Your body just go numb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the world is going on, and my biggest thing was I wanted him to be comfortable out there. I didn't want him to go out there and kind of like look nervous, and how he threw the ball. It really made me understand that, okay, hey, he's good. He's okay.
Right.
And sure, yet the first play, he threw the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, hey, he looks comfortable out there. He went out there and did his job. He did what he had to do for the team. And that's what it was. It was for the team. It was for the university. It was for the community of Tuscaloosa. And that's what it's about, right? It's representing who you are as a person and the name, behind your back. And, and we were happy with that. We're happy with the outcome.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Gotta be, a moment frozen in time if you think about it, Culler. Like,
it can also help people some maybe understand why there's such a such a deep sycophancy in the fan base for it. You know what I mean? Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it helps shed some light on why there's so much pride there. You know what I mean?
There's some I don't know. It's a mystical moment, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hard not to be. It's one of the most famous national championship games ever, because of the story, right? You've got a freshman quarterback, coming in at halftime of a national championship game, overtime, gets sacked, and then makes the throw. The whole thing is storybook. Tell us about 2020. So, draft is coming up. You guys are gonna have a big party in Vegas for the draft party. I was so excited to join you out there. And then COVID hit, so you had to sort of regroup and make different plans. I'm dying to ask this question. Like, what are the nerves like in the last few days before the draft? Because you and, your son, your family could end up in Seattle in one corner of the country, the Northeast and Washington, Detroit, Miami. It has to be such a wild ride.
That would have been
Right.
interesting.
I mean, I know that going through.
What were you gonna say?
That would have been interesting. Seattle. It seems like they were expecting Seattle may have been one of the destinations. It seems like that's what that Trimley just alluded to.
Through that season, I mean, he got hurt, and then with just going through his training, with rehabilitating himself, and with everything, and you're not sure, or you're not really, positive with how things were going, and how Miami went down. With the draft, they did some trades, and from 3 they went down to 5, and we're thinking, okay, hey, maybe they're not looking for a quarterback, they're looking for someone else. I mean, it was just we didn't know. It was unpredictable, and it got to a point where we just, we knew that, what, if we leave it in the Lord's hand, it will kind of calm our nerves and calm everything down, But just going through that week, I mean, he really enjoyed himself at the ranch. And that's what it was. It was just more family time. We wanted to make sure that everyone was good with everything, But to be honest, we really didn't know that Miami was going to pick him, was going to draft him, and we're thankful that Miami did.
It all fell in place if you're a Dolphins fan, right? And if you're in Miami, or even an Alabama fan, or especially both. So it's been pretty fun these past 2 seasons, and now we got a new coach and new excitement. What are you guys looking forward to next? Like, is there a big horizon? And speaking of, your hat is you can see the R and the C for Raising Champions. I know that Raising Champions is a nod to raising 2 incredible athletes, one who is a starting quarterback at a big time football program in college, and one who's a starting quarterback in the NFL. And you do quarterback camps, and you're also helping other kids that are coming up through the pipeline. So tell us more about Raising Champions.
Real quick, Culler. I don't know how tall Tua's dad is. I know he's shorter than Tua, and I would venture to say he's 5'8", 5'6", maybe something like that. I don't think
kind of would seem like that, yeah.
Dude, he's got massive hands for a guy that size. See how big his hands are? He got like quarterback hands.
Oh, he almost looks like BJ Penn.
Well, I mean, for everybody that didn't see in the chat, Culler is dropping the raisechampions.com that's on here. We like to do that kind of stuff, Culler. All right.
All right. Raising Champions is about raising kids to be champions, not only on the field, but also off the field. I mean, football has a lot of tools that can help you in life, and those are the tools that we want to help kids. That's what we're all about, making them understand that, it's important to go to work. You know what I'm saying? It's important to be at work on time. So when you're early, you're on time. When you're on time, you're late. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just things like that we want to kind of like, allow the kids to understand, getting to work to get promoted, you got to work hard. You got to put in the work. You know what I'm saying? You don't just go to work and then expect to get promoted. You got to put in the work. And, those are the things that we do at home, and the things that we, tell our kids, like taking out your trash, cleaning your bed, you know what I'm saying? Doing all those things, the little things. People don't understand how important the little things are in life, and it's about the little things that we teach on the field when we're teaching these things, so that's what Raising Champions is about.
It's thousands of little habits that compound on each other, doing things the right way and putting in the work in all phases of your life, which that's going to mold you into the type of person that's going to have opportunities.
It's about putting yourself in position to have good luck. That statement about being on time and being early, that totally, I'm sold, hook, line, and sinker. I am really a big fan of this gentleman.
Something I always said that I played a lot of football, and the thing, I played on one team 1 year in Pop Warner. We had the worst team. Coach didn't know what he was doing. Terrible player, but it was a lot of fun, and everyone played really hard, and it was a very young team and everything like that. undersized ragtag. We only won one game that whole year. But that year of football, I had fun in it, and it taught me this lesson, something I always try to say when people are talking about what football can teach you. It's that sometimes you could do everything right as yourself, as a football player on the field, literally do everything right, have the best day of your career, or whatever we'll call it career, being a football player, have sacks, interceptions, touchdowns, everything, but you still lost. You still lost. And there's this, losing sucks, but it shows you how to, I don't know, how to lose in life and grow, and the importance of others in that equation, that you can't do it alone. You have to work together as a team. Humanity as a whole has to work together as a team. None of us can make it alone. And that when things are down and you lose, although you might have done everything right, you could still hold your head high. You know how to take a loss and learn from it. Where in today's day and age, there's no losers, or, you're given a fistful of excuses, or even better yet, people make excuses for you. I try to always push back on shit like that, man, because that's degrading everything about it to me.
Right. And you make, to your point, the winning in football is finishing the journey.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Because that's all it is. Like you're saying, it's a life journey for anybody that's played or plays for a profession, and even just in general, the lessons that you can take from it, and what you're winning at the end is finishing the journey. It doesn't matter if you end it, 12th grade senior varsity high school football, or you end it one game in the NFL, or you end at 45 years old as a 7-time Super Bowl champion. Finishing the journey is the goal, is the win.
Well, the journey, I think even more than that, though, like inside of yourself, like you test your own grit, you test your own mettle,
right?
You push yourself beyond. Right,
we each have our own personal journey.
Even in that, you could lose, or even like you could do everything right, and they're just better than you. And exactly, you gotta just take that, and you gotta go, you know what? That is my limitation. There's a way I could work harder, do better, and everything like that. But at some points, that's just how it goes. And you got to kind of just take it on the chin and dust yourself off and keep on going. And that's important in life.
Yep. But there's another person that exemplifies that too, is Barry Sanders.
100%, brother. 100%.
And I believe that if you understand those values of life, everything else becomes easy. That's what we do, and we constantly teach that. And like what you say, I mean, those are like habits you got to instill in these, in your kids. It's been an awesome ride for our family.
It's been a pleasure getting to know you and Diane and the entire family. Tua, when he has time, like everyone wants Tua's time. That's got to be tough to manage though, because he's got to train and he's got to do these things, and yet everybody kind of wants a little piece of the action. So having that support system is so important for these players, and you see what happens when they don't, right? And that can be a sad situation.
And that's part of Tua giving back, is his time and being around these people. These are the things that we pray on. We pray for our kids to stay healthy. We pray on our kids to become successful, and then when the Lord bless you with that, there's a lot that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just pick what you want. It comes in a package.
Nalu, thank you for joining us. Thank you for making South Florida.
And thank you, Mr. Brett Tremblay, for sharing that with us today. We really appreciate that. Were you going to say something, Melcat?
No, he kind of took it home at the end with the kind of the bow I was trying to put on what he was saying. So it's cool. And guys, the link was in the description. So support where you can.
Yeah, and Mr. Tremblay looks like he's a lawyer, but in his own profession, but he is a Miami Dolphins fan. His channel isn't necessarily all Dolphin centric, or as far as that goes, but yeah, get over there and check him out, and let him know we sent you, and let him know we really
let him know. Let him know
interview.
TFTG sent you guys.
Yep.
That's we love to share, but we want to let people know we see them, and we want to know that the people we know that we send there, we want them to see them too. It's all about love, all about sharing, all about the extras and shit like that. For the most part,
we'd much rather see that than all the nonsense that goes on Twitter. That was a real treat.
Oh my God, bro. I don't even want to talk about it, man.
So segue off of that interview. Tua's dad said he said some things that kind of made me think a little bit. That's why I don't believe it's out of the realm of possibility that somebody could still has room to grow, and everybody's growth scale, let's call it, is different, and that is definitely a real possibility. Because I think that the team is really starting to come around to him. If there was any detractors in the locker room, I think that things are changing, because people are realizing that together everybody accomplishes more. So yeah, thanks. And again, I'm baffled. I came across it this morning, and I'm baffled that it hasn't got the play that it deserves. So share this, share that videos. Let everybody else know. That's the kind of things we need to be seeing in our Dolphin fan base on social media, not all this other nonsense. But either case, so as everybody is aware, Tua had quite the day at the podium today. And real quick, before we pull up some video on that, to let Tua speak for himself, because I haven't even seen the video. I wanted to save it for raw reaction live on the air with you guys. But so now there is a report. I am seeing an article on my favorite news source, SI, Joseph Salvador. Tua clapped back at Twitter warriors Thursday, apparently. The Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa has received his fair share of online criticism ever since joining the NFL, specifically because of his arm strength. And the 24-year-old decided to take a shot at those who he called keyboard warriors. Don't we all love them? For me, it's just, quote, for me, it's just zone that out, he said Thursday. I mean, we come out to practice, everyone else, Twitter warriors, keyboard warriors, whatever you want to call them. They're not out here practicing with us and working hard. Tua is entering his third season with Miami since being selected with the number 5 pick in the 2020 NFL draft out of Alabama. And since entering the NFL, he's ranked near the bottom of NFL signal callers in terms of yards per attempt. Last season, he completed 263 passes for just 2,653 yards. He averaged 5.5 air yards per completion. Now, in fairness, I've already done the math. Had he not been injured, he was on pace to throw for like 38-24, roughly. His 67.8% completion percentage was good enough to rank 7th in 2021, but his lack of deep passes has been a constant storyline. During practice Thursday, he completed a deep pass to Tyreek Hill and had some fun when talking to the media about it as well. Earlier in the offseason, the team posted a video of him completing a deep ball to Hill, but it went viral because online users pointed out that Hill had to slow down and make the grab. We're all familiar with the infamous video. Yeah, that's what the article writers have to say in their perspective on it in the national media or whatever, for example. But I wanted to go ahead and run through the interview, because I'd like to watch it with you all for the first time for myself. I'd really like to see what the hubbub's all about here.
It's going good.
How would you assess your performance the last 2 days and how you kind of rebounded today?
Yeah. Well, yesterday's practice wasn't up to the standard that I know our offense can compete at, and it obviously starts with me. In particular, there were some ball placement deals that I didn't particularly like yesterday. I think yesterday was a lot better. There's still some things that weren't up to par to our standard, but I think it was a lot better from an offensive standpoint.
How hard on yourself do you get about ball placement? Mike mentioned that. How do you work on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty hard on myself every time, whether it's throwing a ball where it needs to be or pre-snap operation. Guys aren't set, guys aren't where they're supposed to be. Because in order for the offense to function, we all got to be on the same page. And in order for us to execute at a high level, we got to do things at a high level. So I got to be hard on myself. Mike's a little different. Mike is always trying to encourage you and trying to keep you going. So for me, it's a little backwards where I'm used to myself, getting hard on myself and the coach getting hard on me too. Whereas I'm getting hard on myself and he's trying to tell me, hey, it's gonna be okay. Like we're only in May, we're only in June. There's a lot more time to grow, but it's been cool. It's been different. Like I said, I've never been around a coach like this, who's just extremely positive. Growing up, my dad's always been hard on me. My high school coach has been hard on me. Coach Saban's been hard on me. And all the coaches that I've had prior, they've all been hard on me. So he's hard, but he takes another alleyway, if you will, on kind of teaching and helping.
He seems like he's very in tune. Yesterday and the story that came out, that you said that you think we'll be able to push the ball.
So real quick, got
last year.
so first of all, it's funny to confirm what his father just told us about raising champions. But the other thing I wanted to say is, Tua, if you need like 1 day a week where you still want everybody to be hard on you, you're welcome over to the Fins tailgate, man. Because I think you're actually kindred spirit. Like you understand the things we're saying, so. And you probably know that we're not really hating. So, when any of us might point out criticisms or whatever. So if you ever need where you really want to be hard on yourself, come on over, talk in the chat. Everybody loves you here, especially Q, so.
Son, where are you? I'm in a glass case of emotion.
So continue.
Yeah, if you've seen the third to the last play we had, I don't know if I can throw the ball downfield still, but by my account, I think that might have been a touchdown to Tyreek. If not, then we scored 2 plays after that to Tyreek. So, however you want to write down any of that to social media or whatever outlets you guys are with, you do so.
Can you talk about your timing overall with Tyreek, and is there a play outside of that stuck out today that you think you guys shows your timing?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty cool having a guy like Tyreek, but you have other guys that are, extremely talented, very fast as well, that kind of help out with Tyreek being open. You have Waddle, you have, Gesicki. So everyone has to cover every part of the field, and, I mean, it should be a lot easier to get these guys the ball. Although, playing against our defense, it still gets tough.
Iron sharpens iron, baby.
A lot of things with this team, from him wearing hoodies and sweatshirts and sweatnot.
Yeah.
To mimic that, and then even the music that he lets you guys pick music by being the player of the day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that and just being in tune with that.
Yeah, swaggy. That's what I got to say about Coach Mike. I call him Mystic Mac. Just like Conor McGregor, this dude he loves to predict stuff. So call him Mystic Mac. But the respect that he has in the locker room is tremendous. The guys love him.
Like I mentioned earlier about the narrative about the arm strength. What do you think about that? That every time somebody talks about you, it's you can't throw.
Yeah, well, like I said, all the bad news I hear from Ann. Ann tells me, "Hey, I don't know if you heard about this, but they say that." I'm like, "Ann, why would you want to bring that up to me?" But she brings it up just so I'm aware with the questions that you guys are gonna ask me. Um, for me, it's just zone that out. I mean, we
Yeah,
come out to
yeah.
practice.
And was
Everyone
like,
else
"Yo,
is
Culler's
bullying.
saying some mean things about you again. You need to go check that Culler out, man." Ann's got my number. She's like watching you.
Oh yeah.
Board warriors, whatever you want to call them. They're not out here practicing with us working hard. So I don't know if you guys recorded that last one to Tyreek, but
Well, we're not allowed to film that.
I don't know about you, but that looked like money.
Tua, you said in that interview that Daniel mentioned that putting your strength to be able to put more on your downfield passes was an emphasis this offseason. How much was that? How critical was that for you as a goal this offseason?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I put the most emphasis on my downfield throws, this offseason. Just because learning the offense was kind of the biggest thing. Getting guys set, motions, landmarks with receivers, timing. I think it works out better that way. Whereas if guys are where they're supposed to be, pushing it down the field, it's not something we're forcing. It's something that's there.
You get down on yourself. You found your voice here. It seems that you found your. It's obvious you found your voice. You feel that way right now at this point.
Well, I would say I've shown glimpses of coming out my shell with Coach, but yeah, I can be myself. That's all I can say.
So it's not that you get down on yourself, but you have.
It's all you can be.
And you've gotten to wear that orange jersey. Some of the guys said they could appreciate your music, and they said that you came out with some Hawaiian. Let's talk about the flavor you brought to the music.
Yes, well, I try to bring a mixture of flavors. I brought some Hawaiian music. I brought some Isley Brothers. I brought some. Let's see, because I had Return of the Mac. Who sings that again? If you guys say the name, I promise you I'll. Oh yes. Heck yeah! All right, so we got it right there. We also had some Casey and the Sunshine Band. No, sorry. Hey, Kodak. But
it's okay to say hell
we did
on
have some
live television too. Don't worry.
We had some Shaggy. We had some Shaggy.
Huh? Yeah.
We had some country. But yeah, I would say I love the flavor, the palette of music that I hold.
Tua, you talked earlier about having coaches in your past who were hard on you throughout the years. Different players, you like to talk about players having buttons to push and certain players respond to different things. Do you respond to people being hard on you or encouraging you better, do you think?
Well, I think I've been playing football for so long to where the standard has been set for me at such a young age with the way my dad, has kind of coached me. And then even at the college setting, I was more afraid of what my dad would have to tell me after the game than Coach Saban. And it still is a little like that, in the NFL. But for me, it's just I have it embedded in my mind that regardless of how another coach feels about the way I practice or I play, I know what I'm capable of doing.
Why did you feel?
What did it mean to you, a couple weeks ago when Tyreek Hill posted all the practice clips of the downfield passes that you were completing?
He posted them?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I personally didn't know that. But were they on the money or? Like it, take it.
So why do you feel to you that letting your guard down? When did you notice maybe you needed to do that and you felt comfortable doing that, like Coach was talking about earlier?
Yeah, that I would say that's just something that Mike would always try to get me to do is just open up to him in the hallway or in the meeting room. He'd just pop in When I'm lifting, he just want to chat every opportunity he got. And so, I ended up opening up a little bit to him. But yeah.
Does that bleed into the way you are with your teammates, even the media? I mean, does any of that kind of all go hand in hand?
I would say the way I am, the way I share things with him a little is sort of similar to the way I share things with the guys in the locker room. So the comfortability with him is getting pretty comfortable.
And that's like being a player's coach, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're, a pushover. You know what I mean? Like you can be a player's coach. Like what he's describing there is like, look, I feel like I can talk to coach just like I could feel like I could talk to anybody in the locker room. That's really the essence of being a player's coach, successfully.
I wouldn't call it a coworker, but like more of a working relationship than a boss employee relationship, which
Right.
I think Tua and a lot of these guys come to expect when they become NFL athletes, paid as much as they are, everything. I mean, it's the name of the game now. You can't be paying somebody the kind of money or even the draft picks you pick and then just you can't waste the investment of the company for the sake of the company because you think you're bigger than everything else. That's just stupid. That's just bad business.
Yep.
Yes, I do. I've always been like that ever since high school. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not one to, hey, we're friends after shaking hands. I got to really get to know you, really get to understand you, and feel comfortable.
Would you say this is the most open you've been since you've been here?
With the media, yes. Yes.
So what's it been like learning your third offense in as many seasons, and any fun study habits or anything that you kind of perfected at this point just to learn the new terminology and those sorts of things?
Yeah, I would say the study habits. I got a whiteboard at home that I just write down all the formations. I write down all the motions, and I have my brother or family member or someone that's at my house, kind of tell me the formations, tell me the motions, and then I guess what I'll also do is I invite the guys over to my house, and we walk through plays, we walk through formations.
There you go.
Barbecue.
There you go.
Food. Yeah. Yeah, the snacks don't work with them. Yeah.
Earlier you mentioned that the defense kind of smart about how tough that can be to go against. How has that been for you going against those guys, and how has it helped you kind of improve your game?
It's really good. It's tough because they know what to expect a lot of the times with what we're running, whether it's a play pass, a run play, gap scheme run plays, down the field passing. So, third down has been tough for us against them just because of the variations of zero that our defense has and runs. But, that's what you want. You want a challenge.
So when you a lot of talk about the downfield pass, but on the short and intermediate stuff, especially with how Mike likes for the guys to block up front, how does that change your passing lanes, especially when you're rolling out?
Yeah, it changes a lot of it changes a lot of what we do because we have full flow of the defense because we run the ball a lot with outside zone. We have inside zone. And then when you have guys coming back across, it's hard for guys to key their guys when they're also trying to read run. So the throwing lanes coming backside, it looks good.
Seems like I don't know. It really seems like maybe somebody is starting to get really comfortable in his own skin. That's what it looks like to me. But, that's just one man's opinion. I will say this. Yeah, absolutely, Wooback. Wooback says Culler Tua looks relaxed and confident. That's what I'm seeing, too. And, we'll see if it translates to the field. Everybody knows how I am about, basing things on what we've already seen. But, that looks like a person that definitely is, starting to believe in himself, I'd say.
I'm your huckleberry. Yeah,
exactly. I wouldn't say so much believe in yourself, believe that, yeah, I am that guy. There is a reason I was picked, 5th overall. And, I mean, it's just a matter of being able to be who you are. Like the coach, something could be said for the coach, letting him be who he is. And if he fails on that, then at least we know, and at least he knows for himself where he's at.
There is a darkness inside of me. It wants to get out, wants to walk around. It wants some walking around money, and it wants to buy some shoes, and it wants to walk up with the people and say, "Hey, Gator don't play no shit." You feel me? Gator never been about that. Never been about playing no shit.
Yeah, it looks like he got himself the shoes. I mean, he's owning the media right now. He's absolutely playing them like a fiddle. Finally, like he understands going up to that podium now. And I think that's what's probably going on behind the scenes is McDaniel is starting to empower him. Like, hey, get out there and speak for yourself. Because if you don't, as we've seen, social media will speak for you, up or down. So
It does.
right on. I mean, the only thing I'd say is like pump the brakes to it. I know you're getting a little confident there, buddy, but show it. But that's all I say. I don't want to be critical. That was a great interview. I mean, great, good for him. That's a dog. He's turning into a dog, a DAWG. You know what I mean? And hey, if it doesn't translate to the field, if he's just what he is, then we find that out. And hey, great. Thanks for your service. And, hope for the best for you at the next team, whatever. But I mean, the guy wants to win. The guy wants to prove himself. So, and I think as long as he wears Tagovailoa on the back of his jersey, he's going to hold himself to a certain standard. As we've seen from the previous interview, that is a good standard to be held to, and is usually will translate to success. So, well, yeah, I see I know what you're saying, Q. I mean, pump the brakes that, for us old mean guys, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm saying pump the brakes, put it on the field too, is what I'm saying. Carry that to the field, and nobody should fault him for carrying that kind of attitude to the field. That's not a bad attitude to have, but as far as the media goes, yeah, he basically wagged his finger at the media today and rightfully so. And I'm glad to see him do it.
See this? This is my boomstick.
Exactly. Good job, Tua. And thanks for what's up, Shake? And thanks for shouting out Tyreek. Thanks to Tyreek for setting this whole organization straight as to how it faces us. Appreciate Tyreek for that too. And how you doing, Josie Juicy? Good to see you. But yeah, again, ability's ability. And the tape shows us that, that ability hasn't been seen yet, but that doesn't mean anything at this point. He's not going to lose his starting job, not with an attitude like that. Well, and Big Papa says a new player to the team said, where did Tua not being able to throw it deep narrative come from? A lot of things said about Tua just aren't true. Yeah, I get it. I still hold that with a grain of salt too, because Tyreek understands that the kid's never going to grow and never going to have he's never going to reach his potential. you know, if he doesn't have people supporting him. So, you know, that there is that to be said, but let's face it. I mean, he's done a lot to probably improve his arm strength throughout this offseason, but really I haven't just forgot, like, it's not a matter of arm strength. It's a matter of, can he harness his core the way it should be to get deeper than he's been throwing? That's what it's a matter of. It's not a matter of, can he do it? Does he have the ability to throw deep? You know, it's more, let's see it. And yes, he's thrown deep, but not in the way that we see somebody who really throws deep in the NFL. And everybody has to admit that and be honest with themselves about that. But I think somewhere along the way, that got turned into a real macro argument of arm strength, you know, and I don't think it's a matter of that. I think it's a matter of just doing it right and getting that extra 5 or 10 yards, like he said, out front. And that's what he seems to be concerned about, which is a good thing. You know, he wanted to know, is that out here? Was it out here? That's all I need to know, because I'm improving. You know, and again, I've said it a bazillion times. It doesn't matter if he can throw 60 yards. It doesn't matter if he can throw deep, as long as he can throw deeper than the heads of the safety. That's all we care about. You know, as far as deep throws go. You know, he also will have the added benefit of having a receiver that he can pretty much, in a pressure situation, get out of the pocket, find an open spot of the field that's safe to throw to, and throw it there. And between Waddle and Tyreek, one of them is going to get to it. So that's a big advantage to have. That's an advantage that Patrick Mahomes has enjoyed for the last couple years of his career, and I think it's highly underestimated. That doesn't mean that Patrick Mahomes is going to regress super hard. It just means we should see some regression, and I keep saying that. You know, but Culler, how do you feel about Connor at center? I mean, look, if he's panning out, I haven't looked at the footage. I've seen one play from minicamp so far. You know, I understand that it pains a lot of people that we may be putting him there or maybe trying him out there. But this is one of those things, like, we're talking about serious minutia when it comes to who's best at center. And if somebody, you know, with between the 5 offensive specialists we have brought into the building, if that's what they see fit to do, I mean, that's what we brought them in here to make the determination. You know, it's partly why, you know, I've always said that, you know, we may not do as much as everybody thought we were going to do in the offseason regarding our offensive line. It doesn't mean we still can't. There's 53-man cuts to still be made, all that. But again, I've said from the beginning also that, hey, if Dieter is the guy and they've got some kind of gelling or chemistry or whatever, once Tua gets to the point where he's in command of the offense, it's really up to him. Center should be up to him. I mean, within reason. I mean, just because Tua likes taking a snap from a D- center doesn't mean we should start a D- center. I get it. But generally speaking, all things being equal, if you got 2 B+ centers, I simply would leave the choice to Tua. You know, and I know I've made it funny about it, but, you know, he's the one that has to lay his hand up against the guy's balls. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's really his choice. And maybe
It's so bad. There's blood everywhere. The bunk beds were a terrible idea. Why did you let us do that? It's so bad.
How would you?
Maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe him and Connor hit it off real great. Maybe they have a good chemistry, you know. So so anyway, so guys, like and share this video. You know, we've seen some good stuff tonight, talked about some great stuff. I'm really happy to be able to turn things forward. The AFC roundtable was nice last night to be able to help us, you know, start turning our energy outwards. But make sure you're catching Tonk 7 and myself on TMI Tuesdays, 9:00. I'll try to do an open mic. Thursday nights, you got me again, 10:00. Fashionably late, usually, color commentary. And now you got the great Ali, late night exhale. He's doing a bring the smoke segment this Saturday. Make sure every y'all show up, bring the smoke. If you know anybody that's got problems and wants to bring some smoke, they can bring it too. And also you got the great proprietor of our network, El Capitan, every other night of the week, barring any life issues, 10:00. If you're feeling generous enough, Cash App, $, the Fins Tailgate, Venmo, the Fins Tailgate. Yeah, and shout out to El Capitan. First of all, yeah, if you need anything for Fanatics, they've got all officially licensed gear. Hit the link in the description below. You got all our gear at the Fins Tailgate and our new flag, as Eddie Izzard likes to say. But shout out to El Capitan because he's dealing with this issue with with the business end of everything, and trying to get things squared away with YouTube in that regard, and running it into some paperwork hurdles because of bad programming. If another subject for another day, but shout out to him because he's trudging through it all.
Hey, I got it. I figured it out, bro.
Oh, did you? Great,
bro.
Great.
I damn near smashed everything within reaching distance of me, but I got it, bro. I got it, son of a bitch.
You were about where I am with my computer today,
Listen,
right?
Bro. I mean,
bring a hammer to it.
This show takes everything. It does. Yeah. We're down to my last nerve, but
and that's why we appreciate each and every one of y'all, because y'all in the audience make it happen for us. That's why we do it.
And you know what I love too? Like the guy that just came in, the Falcons fan, Steve. I love everybody being like, "Hey, Steve, welcome." That's what I love, man. I get it. We're not all here hands across America holding hands all the time, but I like once we friends, then we could dog on each other a little bit, and not mean spiritedness. You know what I'm saying? We could all have a good time.
Exactly. I think there's, we all don't know each other online, so it's hard to really garner trust when you got a guy just picking on Tua, or whether you got a guy really hating on him. You know what I mean?
It's the tailgate party that never stops network. So really, if you think about it, you go to a tailgate, you meeting people, you have a few beers, you don't walk right up and start, dogging on the dude. But now you guys are, 5-7 beers deep. You're talking to this guy like you've been hanging out with him your whole life. Because that's just how it goes. And not that the beer did it. It was the friendship that, grew along it. Sorry, Culler.
Exactly.
I had to hop in.
Yeah, CB. It looks like I may probably be having your and I's was the end of the season bet. It wasn't the starting day one bet, if I remember correctly, right? Barring injury. But yeah, hey, I'm not master at work. Okay, I'm not master at work. I know what a bet is. Now we're going to find out if he's hiding in chat somewhere. Yeah, it does suck to be the Browns, Carla, don't it? I think I bet, if I remember correctly, yeah, that's what CB's saying. I said he wouldn't do enough to be the guy next year. So, by the end of this year, if I'm not if he's not like, oh yeah, rah, no doubt, give him a contract, he's the guy, then I win the bet. But yeah, so I'm prepared to pay it, CB. I'm not, it is what it is. But yeah, appreciate that, Wooback. Yeah, it was just misinformation, man. It was just blatant, I would say, disinformation. And I'm glad that I'm glad that you're actually, you see exactly what's going on. So appreciate you being here. Absolutely. I mean, it wasn't fair to you. And from either side, what was perpetrated. So we'll leave that alone. It's water under the bridge. I don't, you know how it is. But either case, I was going to get into the Mike McDaniel presser, but we could probably save that for another day. We'd be going about, I guess, well, I don't know, we'd be going about an hour and a half. I don't know if anybody wanted a chance to talk or not, so I'm willing to drop a link if anybody wants to. If not, we'll keep rolling in and take a look at this McDaniel presser. See what you guys want to do. All right, Ali wants to come up. At the very least. Who's bringing smoke this weekend? I might bring some smoke. Ali says he's got some smoke for me. So I don't know. We'll see what that's all about. What you got, Ali? Oh, he was in for a second.
Hold on one second.
Sure. Oh, Shake's in too. Look at that. Shake Money. How's it going, buddy?
All right. Can you hear me okay now?
Yep, you're good.
All right. Sorry about that. I didn't have my headphones plugged in. I came to bring some smoke, man.
Uh-oh.
I'm not really happy with you.
What did I say wrong tonight, man?
You told Tua to pump the brakes. I don't want him pumping the brakes. I want him to drip with confidence. I want him to talk the shit. The guy comes out and starts swinging at the press and media and social media. Fuck, that's what I want.
I hear you, but I just noticed, by the way, first of all, welcome Q and welcome Shake Money and welcome, Pete. I know you're going to give it. I want to hold on, guys. I want to give Pete a chance to really lay it on me because I know he's gonna. Go ahead, Pete. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Tua is awesome. That's my quarterback. I can't wait to see what he does this season.
That's right. That's right,
Pete.
No, it's Ian Baller, but
bro, I was gonna say that's fucking Ian Baller, bro. No fucking way. That is not Pete. That is EM, that is fucking hilarious. That's next level right there. You should keep it on there. You should do a Pete character for at least a little while.
Wow, he might sue him though.
Oh, that's true.
No. I doubt it because I went on a show. I forgot whose show it was, and the other Pete happens to jump back on, and I'm like, oh
yeah, it was Larry's show. It was Larry's show,
Larry's show. So yeah, that was hilarious because he jumped off and I did not expect him to hop back on, but he did.
You've shown the courtesy of not suing EM Dolphin fans. So why Pete should not sue you?
Exactly. I didn't do anything. I let him keep his name. I was born. I'm pretty sure I had the name first, and I was born first anyway. So
I should have.
By the way, if both of you EMs want to continue that smoke on Saturday night on Ali's channel, you're more than welcome. It doesn't have to be straight Dolphin smoke.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Wait a minute. Service announcement here.
Sure.
Pete, the real Pete. If you are listening, come on my show Saturday and talk that smoke. I want to hear it.
You yelled rape at the top of your lungs.
Mom, I honestly thought I was going to be raped for a second. He had the craziest look in his eyes, and at one point he said, "Let's get it on."
That was about the fighting. I'm so not a raper.
Look.
That was a daddy. That guy's looking at me weird.
So what do you guys think of Tua's dad's interview, man? That was awesome, man. I thought.
It was really awesome. I'm glad that we kind of got to learn more about his personality a little bit more, and kind of how things transpired for him growing up. I always knew that Samoans in general are very into family and family culture.
Yeah.
So that I already knew. Go ahead.
That's one of the reasons why I really like that interview, because it shed light on, because not every family is the same, worldwide. It's very different idea of family everywhere. Down here, extended family is a very big thing. You're my second cousin, third cousin. it's that's as close as you can get. That's like immediate family right now.
I'll piggyback off that, Q. I think what it really showed me, it allowed me to humanize him, to say, hey, this is just a guy who loves his son too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Allowed you to connect with him your own way, right? How you
Yeah, even if I disagree with certain things or whatever, the man, there's nothing that man ain't doing that he doesn't think is in the best interest of his son.
which
so you
can
can never
relate.
take anything away from somebody that's like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did a great job too as a stand-up dude. Like, not a lot of bad things you can say about him other than he can't throw the ball past 1 yard. Other than that,
right?
Oh my God!
I'll tell you what.
Culler? How you doing, man?
I love it, Ian. That's good.
but as a person, I mean, not much bad things to say about Tua.
And I know Shake Money is probably going to give me some heat for slobbing all over Tua's knob tonight.
No.
What the?
God damn, Culler.
Culler.
No, but anyway, no. What I was gonna say was,
Look what I can do.
Culler laced his bowl with something.
I mean, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna take the damn credit. You know what I mean?
Own up to it. Be a man about it.
20
you
and
got
20
it,
and shit, bro.
You hear that, 2 in ears? You hear that, 2 in ears? I've put in my service. Lay off of me now.
You yelled rape at the top of your lungs.
No, but for real, I really like the fact that he came out, talking
By
a
the
little
way,
bit
Tua is
smack.
laughing his ass off at that joke right now. I hope you know that.
But no, hey, Culler, what I was gonna tell you is one thing with the Samoan family. You could tell if you look at WWF with the Peter Maivia family, they've been strong since the 70s. Everybody in that family is close knit.
Oh yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, what's funny about that? When I came across the interview this morning, I thought there was so little traction on it that I almost thought it was talking about another Tagovailoa that just happened to be in the extended family, and he was interviewing him for some other reason. So I clicked on it thinking, wait a minute, no. Oh, no. I read the description. I'm like, oh, no, it is to his dad. I'm like, nobody's sharing this? Like, go look at the video now. There was like, when I pulled it up tonight, it's been on it was posted yesterday. And it's got like 150 views, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I tell you what, the one thing that I'm glad that Tua is clapping back, but if he doesn't perform, it's going to bite him in the ass big time.
Well, of course, Shake Money, but this is the same thing about that I say about McDaniel. No shortage of belief in himself. You know what I mean? He's definitely putting himself out there.
But at this level, you need that confidence.
And at this point, what does Tua really have to lose but putting himself out there? Because putting himself out there is precisely the one thing that could actually, be the ace in his back pocket. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But if it don't work out, how's it any different than any other day?
Yeah, that's actually true. I mean, to be honest, a lot of these players, when they start, talking, showing their confidence, really it's a 4D chess mind game on and off the field. And, that's the way I look at it. And I really feel like that's part of the game that he's missing. And I really think if he continues to build that confidence and show it on and off the field, it's going to show up on the field more so.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not gonna patronize him like some others have done and say, oh, he's growing into, and not to say that they're doing it negatively. I don't mean to disparage anybody, but but I'm not gonna be one to say, oh, look, he's growing or into adulthood or he's becoming a man. No, it's just a matter of, hey, you got somebody there going, you know what I mean? You criticize yourself enough. I'm not gonna do it too.
Also, you know what? I'm also everybody gives McDaniel credit for this new boost of confidence. I also want to put some in Tyreek Hill too. I'm sure Tyreek Hill has been juicing him up to also help him elevate his confidence as well.
Easy,
for sure, sick.
That's allegedly,
For sure, shit.
that's allegedly juicing him up.
No,
Oh,
I'm gonna piggyback that real quick. Not just Tyreek Hill, and it's not just for Tua. It's also we brought in Teron Armstead for the offensive line. I mean, you can say that certain players were brought in just for that, and it's starting to show.
Well, easy though, because if he was brought in for Tua, he'd be on the right side of the line.
I
don't
said the offensive line for
necessarily
Teron.
agree with that because Tua is going to be doing a lot of play action and a lot of rollouts to his left side.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But
Yeah, but
we do got to
also,
make sure that right
we can
tackle
see where the
spot
pressure
is
is coming
solidified though.
initially.
Hey, what's up, Crypto?
But as you noticed, Crypto
what's
now
going on?
believes we're passing the ball 100% of the time. So I'd rather have his blind side protected.
Exactly, Culler. That's right. That's a part of the Dolphins manifesto now. I am now breaking the news. The Dolphins manifesto require us to throw the ball all the time.
Hold up, Crypto. We got to do the thing. Do the thing, Caller.
Breaking news.
Uh-oh. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm behind. Oh, I got Cap in the back. He must be.
The back stuff, Cap. What's up, Cap?
Wooback. What's up, Wooback? Welcome to the show.
Wooback, how you doing,
Hey,
Hey, Woo.
G'day, bros. Big shout out from Australia, from down under. Big shout out to Culler. Culler, you know, great show, mate.
I appreciate it.
The other thing is, you finding that was a gem, mate. You know, finding that article, you know, like you said, it's amazing that people haven't tapped into that that vid you just showed. It shows how much a lot of people are sleeping, and you are doing your homework, my brother.
Oh, I appreciate that. You know, I just want, you know, like I told you, I people were working on false information. And
Culler doesn't do his homework. He just watches a lot of YouTube.
Oh no, it's good for the community. It's definitely good for the community. You know, there's a lot of us here in Australia. You know, we're big fans because, you know, over here in Australia we also have a big Samoan population, as well as New Zealand. So down under is full of a lot of our people, and we're voting for Tua. You know,
that's on my bucket list.
Before that, most Samoans were Steelers fans, and a lot of them are still. I started Steelers because of Joe Polamalu, but I mean Steelers is Steelers. You know, those guys are a super team, but it's good to be a Dolphin supporter, and it's good to see a lot of our people start supporting Dolphin. Whether Tua works out or doesn't work out, we just need to focus and go forward and support the team. You know, we all have our opinions. In the end of the day, you know, you want people that you're rooting for to succeed. But, you know, now I'm a bona fide Dolphins fan. You know, I think the communities, because of the community, because of the people, you know, I think the Dolphin community has the best YouTubers. You know,
and you know what? The color of your ocean water over there is exactly like ours too. So you know what I mean?
That's it. Aqua. Just add a bit of orange in it, and we're ready to roll.
I mean,
you know, but
Australia is just Florida on steroids, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I want everything that can kill you. You know,
right. Everything is thorny, poisonous, or sharp. You know what I mean? Like,
bro,
yeah.
The size of cockroaches.
60% of the species are poisonous.
You know, it's everything is big. Everything is. I've never been to a country. The spiders. We've got a huntsman that's the size of a tennis ball.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, we also have crocodiles and outback steakhouses. So yeah, we're kind of like Australia.
Yeah, crocodile meat is not bad. So it's kangaroo meat, mate. But you know, it's been really awesome to tune in. I mean, I'm a big fan of people like Reason, of Larry, of DW, and now of now you Culler and El Capitan, as well as Batman and Geo. You know, I mean, as well as TD. As much as I give TD a lot of shit, you know, he has. You know, we need the TDs in the community. You know, I mean, sometimes a bit extreme, but you know, we're tough enough to pull him back in line if he start playing up. But I mean. He's, you know, everybody has
I've always said, how would we know when we're there if you don't have people like me or people like TD? You know what I mean? How will we really know we're there?
Exactly. I mean that's I mean I'm a big supporter of rugby here. You know, I rugby league. There's a team from New Zealand called New Zealand Warriors. We've been in the league since '95, haven't won nothing yet, and we go up and down every year. You know, I believe every year you turn up, and we don't pick the coaches, we don't pick the team. All we as fans, we turn up and we ride the roller coaster, and hopefully we'll get to the end. The end goal is to win the championship. You know what I mean? To win the Super Bowl or whatever. And I mean, yes, I think the Dolphins fan, just learning from being in the community right now, you guys have gone up the ups and downs for so long since Marino, and but even Marino never won anything. Don't forget that. So all Tua has to do, and this team McDaniel has to do, is deliver that one Super Bowl. And hopefully we can do it in the next, this year, hopefully, or next year. I want Tua to succeed. Why? Because we don't have to use the picks from next year. Those picks can go shoring up the team, and Tua works out.
See, that's the thing. I firmly believe at this point that the only thing that is gonna be the reason that Tua doesn't succeed is because he simply doesn't want to.
Yes,
or he's just not good enough.
But just to see him now coming out of his personality. I mean, this is the first time I think that we've seen Tua sort of a bit cheeky on the press conference as far as start calling people out. He's starting sort of making just making light and fun out of the people.
Yeah.
He looks a bit more comfortable, in himself. But I mean, like I said, the dude is a warrior. He's dead because, I mean, if you can be coached up by his dad and survived his regime, Saban regime, then I believe he can survive. I mean, he survived Flores. I mean, Flores is a good coach defensively, but I think he just wasn't a people. He just had his mindset on certain things and ran it this way. He wasn't trying to cater to his players.
He didn't understand how to interact with Tua at the very least.
100%.
The whole team.
Well, the thing about it was too is
Xavier Howard's a completely different player, and he's on the defense.
You also got to see that too. That Tom Brady, the way he treated Tua was the way Belichick treated Tom Brady, and not everybody responds to the same treatment. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think the difference is that Brady was just as well. What's the word? Bullheaded than Belichick was. So that's why they both got away with it. You know what I mean? Whereas Tua isn't that type of person.
A different time, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is a different time. Definitely. That's not.
And I think
I wouldn't necessarily go that far, Bryson, because I would say that you could probably still find a player that comes along that is receptive to that type of coaching. I really think
but
an individual personality.
I mean, it was way more common back then. I mean, if you look at the young coaches now,
that I'll give you. Sure, that I'll give you. It was expected of you to be that way back then. Sure.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And also, they had, Tom Brady, they had his buy-in, right? And he's the greatest of all time, regardless of what anybody thinks, but it was just a different time. And we've also seen that the Belichick way doesn't work anywhere other than New England. But that's a whole nother debate.
But you know what? At the end of the day, I think both Tua and Brian Flores are both in the win situations. Tua's got the right coach for him, and Brian Flores has the right person to learn under.
Correct. Yeah, they both in good situations now.
And to your point, sometimes that's all it takes.
We have to,
for sure. You just take a big demotion.
We got somebody feeding back. Oh, we got who? That was
Crypto.
We have to thank Flores, though. I think we owe Flores a big thank you for stuffing up, and because now we've got a new coach with Tyreek, a new, hopefully improved Tua, and the rest of the team, so we can move forward. So we owe Flores a big thank you.
Yeah, of course, we got to give thanks to Brian Flores for helping, build the defense up as far as the scheme goes and as far as the players. Because
I'm glad we can finally say that. I'm glad we can finally say that we don't have to dehumanize the man and just to say that he didn't work out with Tua. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not just Tua. He didn't work out with
The team.
anybody. Like when you hear people talk about him, everyone is more happy. The vibe is different for everybody, not just Tua.
Yeah, you
It
can
just wasn't
sense
a good
the
fit for
difference.
Miami. That's really
Well,
it.
that
And
may
he's
be
a
true.
good
I think there's a difference between saying a whole bunch of people, or that everybody wasn't, on board with him. I don't, in other words, those people could have still been fully on board with him and still think there's a better atmosphere in the locker room now.
For sure.
Because
but
they
I
could
mean,
be
it's
they could
known
be a
fact.
person like me that says, "Oh, this locker room is never going to be good if the coach and the quarterback don't get along." You see what I'm saying? They
For
can
sure, but
say
I
they
don't-
can recognize that and still have been on Flores' side. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
the
just
problem with
think
Flores
the
is that
main
he
thing-
was too controlling of every single thing. There's some
Well,
rumors
that may
out
be,
there that
may be, but
Flores
again,
called the offensive plays as
see,
well.
see, EM, this is where you're taking it now to where it don't need to be taken. You see what I'm saying?
What?
Because all of what you're saying is only witnessed by people that were in the locker room. And I don't care what anybody says they saw online. We don't know. And none of
So,
us were there.
I think
but
where
Culler,
we could
one
stand.
thing-
Hold on, just a second, Bryson. I'll drop
Dribbletron.
back a bit. I would say easy on this point. Flores did the things he did well, and the things he didn't do good. He really struggled at, and
Fair
Botched
enough.
it, yeah.
and
Fair
and,
enough.
and
Fair.
hopefully him as a man can look at his problems that in his failures and grow from it, because I believe he was a damn good coach, but he obviously was not a damn good leader.
Stop talking
Yeah,
shit
Flores-
about
No,
running
that's the
backs.
biggest thing
though,
about a
bro.
head coach is being a
Real quick,
leader
I
and
wanted
hiring a good
to
staff.
speak to that point for just 1 second because it ties into something I wanted to tell Q about. I've been dying to tell you this all day, Q. I'm glad you jumped up tonight. By the way, welcome, Drew Bashan. Been a while since I've seen you. I've been on hiatus. Good to see you.
Yeah.
And everybody get over to Twitch TV/Drew Bashan. Follow him over there. But Q, I got a neighbor 2 doors down from me in my apartment, right?
Yeah.
And he noticed I was a Dolphins fan today. So we started chit-chatting. And I shit you not, he's a Steelers fan.
Okay.
What is
And
everyone with the aluminum curtain?
He subscribed to the Fins tailgate right in front of me. So he's going to be coming around. But he absolutely couldn't thank me profusely enough for their new linebackers coach. How do you feel about that? Are you in agreement with the fellow Steelers fans?
Bro, I've been on Flores. I've been high on Flores as a linebackers coach, bro. Flores is a defensive mind, no doubt about it. I love that he's with us right now because what he's doing with Miles Jack right now, bro, it's wonders, bro. And I think he's gonna relay the same thing to Devin Bush.
Do you think it's possible that Tomlin over the next couple seasons could possibly maybe help to take a little bit of that Belichick edge off of him and kind of mentor him
For sure, bro. I believe that, bro, because he's in a different
of head coaching.
Yeah. He's not with the New England Patriots right now, bro. He's with the Steelers, bro. And I think Mike Tomlin, not only Mike Tomlin, I think him, Art Rooney, and Matt Canada, all those the DC, OC coaches who've been there for years, they're gonna, not show him, but they're gonna sort of like emulate what it means to be, a Pittsburgh Steeler. So no longer is the shadow that Belichick casted over him, and now he's gonna have a new identity about him, a new, width
and
about
that's a topic I'd like to explore a little deeper on another show, another night. As far as the future of one Brian Flores, because I highly respect the man. Obviously, everybody knows that, and why I'm so. I guess I'm a little oversensitive, and maybe it's easier for me to see.
Are we all colored? We all are.
Potential
Hey, I want to talk some smoke to Iceman real quick. Welcome to the show, Iceman.
What's up, Iceman?
Iceman,
I wanted to say this.
Iceman,
You're 100% right. I don't know how the hell you knew this, bro. But
I told you. Did I not tell you?
Genie,
I
bro.
may
I'm
not.
kinda
I may
like,
have crazy takes, but I can pick winners, bro. I
dude,
told you I can pick
100%. Yo,
winners.
Ali, I'm gonna have to ask you a couple questions backstage, like for some betting money, bro, because you on 100%, no cap. But either way, what's up? Fins up, everyone.
Well, I'm gonna hold on.
Fins
Ali,
up.
I'm gonna let you bask in that glory. So hold down the fort for me for a second. I'm gonna go refill my coffee.
All right. So
I don't even
Jason
know
Tatum,
who you
but Jalen
are.
Brown was on fire.
yeah, dude.
Stop
And dude, it didn't matter. Curry could have sat there and shot three. Could have shot threes all day long, and it didn't matter because they just kept scoring right afterwards. It didn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, like Stephen Curry was hot off the three, but then after that, Boston's defense, like you said, Ali, Boston's defense tightened it up, and they just did their job. I mean, shout out to Boston, man. I hate to say it, but damn, they're coming in strong.
Are you surprised at my tears, sir?
Oh, fucking A.
Strong men also cry. Strong men also cry.
Yeah, but no, like for real, like it pains me because I'm a Laker fan, but just how Celtics took care of the Heat, which was, in my opinion, was the favorite to win that series.
Gross, Lakers.
Yeah, I
No,
don't really
Celtics
care.
were always the favorite to win that series by far.
Okay, that's your
The
opinion.
Heat,
That's
no,
your
the
opinion.
Heat were. I mean, it's not my opinion. It's like all the opinions.
I understand. I still picked them to win. I still
Hold
picked
on, guys.
Celtics to win the
My mic
series.
is
And you
being
can ask
bad. Hold on.
Iceman because I came right on Batman's show and I said Celtics are going to win the
can hear you
series.
fine, Iceman.
Oh well,
I
yeah,
just wanna
yeah.
say something
You were
about
saying
that
Celtics
Heat
were the
series.
favorites to win, and a bunch of like
Not
Miami
my
Heat
favorites. I'm
fans.
talking about in general when it
Yeah,
came
like
to
they would win it.
If they
like
don't,
in general from the media and Vegas line.
if the
As in
refs
they would go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Go
no,
ahead,
you're
Bryce.
good, Ali. No, I was just gonna say, if those refs don't take away that 3-pointer from Max Drews, that end of that game plays out differently, in my opinion. I really think because it would be in a 1-point lead or 1-point deficit when Jimmy went up for that three, and I don't think there's a necessity to go up for that three. And I think that end of the game. Now, do we win? I don't know. Obviously, I can't tell you that, but I think we would have played end game a lot differently.
I mean, throughout the series, the calls went Boston's way more often than not.
Yes. Oh,
and
for
in a
sure.
7-game series, it's
Do
like,
you guys
it's
see
anybody's
it
game.
going the whole 7-game series?
This one, I don't think so. I think
You don't
Boston-
think so? I still think
no.
they're gonna get to game 7, in my opinion.
I had said from game 1 of Boston Miami that this was your finals, that whoever won this was going to win it, and it probably wasn't going to be close because Golden State, they're just going to try to go and outscore you, and that's kind of what they do. But with the defense that Boston plays and the defense that Miami plays, that type of game wasn't going to really work. That's why I always said whoever wins Boston Miami is going to win it all.
Yeah.
It sucks. It had to go 3 straight years through the Heat, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
We're spoiled with Heat. Like, let's
True. I mean, you have to make a balance for Miami. Dolphins, Heat.
Right.
You know, now it's time to make that switch. I hope.
Exactly.
If you guys add another prominent player to that team, I think you guys will get over the hump, to be honest.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
Jimmy
what you
didn't
hope
really
with
have much help in
Oladipo.
seven.
I mean, we hoped Oladipo and
Actually, I'm hoping we land Bradley Beal this year.
Beal
Oh,
would be
Bradley
would be a big difference maker.
What about
But we've got
Donovan?
young guys too, right? Tyler Hero's still coming into his own. Struce came out of nowhere. Yurt came out of nowhere. Like we've got
Yeah.
great players, but then we have these great role players too on the bench
Yes,
that
sir.
are building and preparing to kind of take that next step. So I mean, the sky's the limit for the Heat, which is crazy to say, coming off, an Eastern Conference Finals it's impressive. Pat Riley is a
sucks we're
genius.
not in the
Yes, sir.
finals, but it is nice to focus on like the Dolphins now, and there's just so much excitement going in.
I'm focused on the Marlins
and-
now, waiting for them,
Oh,
waiting for
I'm
the
not a
next
big
fire
baseball
sale.
fan, but
I
anyways,
hear
I
you,
got a
bro.
question
I
I
hear you.
wanted to ask earlier. So,
ahead.
I'll give my opinion about it after you guys all kind of say what you think. But from what is being reported now, it looks like Connor Williams is going to start at center. As of right now, obviously that can change. It's June. So I just wanted to know if that is the case, how do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, hold on one second. How I feel about it is I'm okay with it. We already knew that they were going to tinker around with the players we already have. We have so many young players on the offensive line, and by theory, there's no way that the Dolphins missed out on every draft pick that we did on the offensive line. There's no way. So we got to figure it out. We brought in all the appropriate coaches that, are centric around the offensive line, that they should be able to figure it out one way or the other. Now, I know that they did try Connor at center in Dallas, and it didn't work out so much, but that could also be based on the personnel that they have versus what we have. You know what I mean? So it could be, it could be a good thing, I'm okay with it. So I've heard something recently about JC Treader and what's going on that front. So, I think we're okay with not signing him actually right now.
Hey, I just want to say something real quick too. Is in my opinion, I think that Tua is like the driver of the ship. But one thing I'm learning now is that the center is like the navigator. You need a good center, because if you don't have a good center that identifies things to help your quarterback, navigate the offense, you're not going to get far.
Sounds like you did some work on the some homework on the outside zone scheme.
That's right.
Center is absolutely key to the whole operation.
It's the anchor. I mean,
it has to be really intelligent and understand the play intricately and know exactly what's going on with the linebackers.
Q, what do you think about Bryson's question?
Man, I've been saying, bro. I've been saying Dieter at center, because the fact that he has been tried at center, and just because you tried something once and it didn't work doesn't mean you can't try it again. And I'm for it, bro. I'm for it. I want him. I want a veteran presence. I know he's not necessarily a center. I know he's a guard, but he is a veteran presence on that line, and maybe he can help develop. Because as you said, the Dolphins didn't miss on all their picks, especially on the O-line. And with the personnel they have right now, the Frank Smith and that O-line coach, and all the pieces they have to help these players develop into, come into their own and, see where they're at in the league. I know, by week 7, these young players are going to, figure it out. And these coaches are going to figure it out how to implement these players into the system.
And here's the other thing is that I don't think, if we go back and watch the videos, I don't think anybody specified that he was the starter at center. They just said they're playing him at center. So that could be.
It wasn't definitive. It was just.
Yeah, I think it's more of just let's try something out, see what happens with it. If it works, good. We have it in our back pocket in case something happens. But he may not be the actual starter. It might be Dieter still. The only thing with Dieter that I have the issue with is that someone needs him to coach the proper technique when it comes to dealing with stunts. We were getting blasted on stunts on the offensive line every play. That's why every play, not even a second, half a second, Tua already has someone in his face.
Feel bad for
Hey, shout out to Adam Padilla.
Yeah, I personally I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you listening, Adam.
Studsville even
and
said,
thanks a lot, Woo Back, for stopping by tonight, man. You're always welcome.
All right, Uso.
So, and here's the thing. See, this right here probably, I don't know, this really exemplifies what my feeling like exactly. And I don't blame God Soldier for this sentiment at all. This is kind of exactly how I felt last year.
I think most people felt that way.
You know, it was game after game after game. It was like, especially the Saints. The Saints really got me because I was so sure that was like, okay, here's your spot, Tua. You got a secondary that it was last in the league at home in yardage allowed per game in their own stadium. That's the Saints. And we're talking a big disparity from 32nd to 31st in that regard. For whatever reason, the splits were really terrible at home for their secondary. And everybody kept telling me, everybody kept telling me, oh, they just beat Brady, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, well, they beat Brady in Tampa Bay. But earlier in the season in New Orleans, Brady put like 375 yards on him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And a couple touchdowns. So it was like, all right, this is the game. And it was just such a lackluster performance. It was like, I mean, yeah, it ended up being like 20-9 or 20-3 or something like that.
20-3, yeah.
But it was still like, it wasn't in hand by any stretch of the imagination against a team that has a quarterback that like is lucky he got to play one game in his career. You know what I mean?
I think the Saints game, I did kind of want to see them pop off, but it did feel like that they were playing very
conservative.
And that could be all could be all play calling and coaching, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not because I know we ran the ball like almost 30 times that game. If I'm not, we might have run the ball more than 30 times that game.
We were so bad.
It just seemed to me that would have been a game where if it was designed like that, Drew Batron, that would be the game where you would want, if you did support your quarterback, you would be like, okay, here you go, Tua, ball out. Show them all, because this is a game where you can put a feather in your cap and say, oh, that's an easy 315-yard performance with a couple touchdowns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
I don't think that's what
if any of you have the energy to go back and locate the TD Fins Talks chat before that game, you'll see me saying the exact same thing. Miss Fins will back me up on it. You can see all my predictions for that game for the same reasons.
Have you guys seen the
secondary was terrible, you know, at home. You know,
go ahead, Bryson. You were talking. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Have you guys seen the article where they talk about how Tua says that there was a one read play calling where before the snap it was a one read play, and if that guy's not open, the play is dead, and the playbook didn't really have many plays where they were pushing the ball down the field. Have you guys seen that in the last couple of days?
Yeah, that actually has been talked about for the last couple months, actually. Okay. And also not recently, but the last couple months, it's already come out and confirmed that Flo was actually speaking to Tua in the helmet and telling him where he wanted him to go with the ball.
Exactly. So that's my thing, Ali. Is like, I think that with that, we don't even know.
You don't see what? What was that?
Are you talking to me?
No, I think somebody said something. Q, did you say something?
Yeah. To add on to your point, what that tells me was that every time Tua pushed the ball downfield, it was his own decision. He was going against, Flores' decision to, keep it short and quick. So every time you see him trying to be aggressive downfield, it was his own decision, to try and make that deep, that deep throw.
I'm not trying to in color. I got to put a little exclamation point on this. This is not a comment to disparage Coach Flo or anything like that. I'm just making an observation. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. And the only pushback I would put on it is to remind everybody, and this is not to say I know how it is or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just as a reminder that we could easily make the assumption that, okay, yeah, every coach is going to be talking into the ear, and it could be a matter of telling him, hey, this is the hot guy, and that being misconstrued as him telling him where he wanted him to go. So let's keep that in mind as a balance.
But why even bring it up if that's the case?
Hold on. Let me just get my point real quick. I was just letting Culler know before he starts getting mad that.
Well, who brought it up?
Well, Yeah, Bryson brought it up.
I think
Yeah.
Drubertron is saying who brought it up in the social world.
Yeah, my point. No, I'm sorry. My point was just why bring it up if it was something that wasn't like just the norm.
Yeah,
because there's people with agendas.
That's it. But
and you
I
know
get,
that.
I get it.
Bring up the
I get it.
article?
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
don't
I
have-
think it's an odd thing to bring up if it's just a normal.
Why unbalance the situation that I was just trying to balance?
Well, the whole point of bringing it up is
it's
to
a counter
show
argument.
that
I mean, you see
he
what I'm
has
saying,
it, he's been
Drubertron? You're just
handcuffed.
adding imbalance to what I just attempted to balance.
I think Bryson's whole point of bringing it up was to explain that Tua has more of a playbook now, whereas before
Yes,
it was
yes.
more secluded to certain
Now,
plays and
and to
certain
be
things.
fair to Ali's point,
and
if
what
I were to make
hold on.
if I am to make assumptions, which we're all doing, okay, it is a more fair assumption to make that he was controlling, because that is actually the type of personality and type of football coaching style that Flores has exemplified.
True,
so
yeah,
I'm not
that's
going to
true.
push
That is
back
true.
on that idea.
Yeah, but
Hey,
this
Bryson,
was
hey,
my
Bryson.
this was my point. Hold on.
Just
Q,
like when I say
wanna-
that Flores isn't a freaking, whatever crazed, what, like everybody else in the media wants to frame him as.
Yeah.
I'm not. It's the same thing. I'm
Yeah,
making that assumption based on what he's shown me.
So what I was
Not
going
what
to
everybody
say.
says happened in the locker room or in the building. Because that's all I have to go on. So if you're asking me to believe that he was a little controlling on the playbook, that's an assumption I'm willing to go to, because that's the type of person Flores has shown me to be.
What I was just trying to say is to piggyback on what Q was saying about that some of these plays, it may have been Tua actually, taking matters in his own hands and going downfield a little bit. There are times when he did that, and I would have expected, Flo to fist pump or say hell yeah or something and go on to the next play.
I feel that.
He just stood there and looked kind of disgruntled. That what the hell was that? You know what I mean? That's why I was like, maybe you're right. Maybe he did do some of these things, out of his own.
And Culler, just to clarify, Bryson, that article you're talking about, was it Tua? Was it a Barry Jackson article that he had an interview with Tua?
I couldn't confirm or deny that.
Okay, well, Barry Jackson came out with an article, and we read it on Larry's channel, and he had an interview with Tua, and Tua said it. And this is the first time we're hearing this from Tua. Because other people have made a lot of excuses for Tua. And this is the first time Tua addressed the situation, and Tua said there were no plays designed to go downfield. Why? Because they had to throw it off quick because of the deficiency on the O-line. And so sometimes when he make an attempt downfield, it was him taking matters into his own hands. And Culler, that right there is not speculation. That's from Tua himself, and I don't think Tua would lie about that.
But Q, that's our point.
All you're saying is Flores was making a coaching decision that he thought he was right. That doesn't make him right. But how does that? How do you make the leap from
No.
that?
What I'm saying is Tua said
Objection
there were
here,
no
Clay.
design plays downfield. That's all he was
I think
saying.
he's just salty. I think he's salty, bro. I think Tua's just salty right now, bro. He wants to
salty Tua.
So my thing is,
money.
Objection, speculation.
A lot of people
overruled.
That Tua can't throw down the field. Tua can't throw bombs, can't do this, can't do that. And what we're trying to say is what we've been saying for so long is the dude doesn't have time to do it. Like you have with the O-line we had last year, you had to do. I'm not saying that what Ford did was wrong, but
there's plenty of ways to buy yourself time to throw the ball down the field. But
okay, and a lot of times he did.
Relitigate every excuse.
A lot of times he did, but what I'm
and not only that, Culler,
not
only that, your receivers need time.
And
the receivers need time to develop their routes.
Yeah, and exactly. And you know what Russell Wilson does in that situation? He gets himself outside the pocket, buys himself time, and bombs into Tyler Lockett.
Not with flaws at your fault. Not with flaws being control freak.
With what offense staff?
Okay, fine.
But also I'm going to play devil's advocate. Russell Wilson also has receivers that actually have very good route running,
and separation.
We only had Waddle last year.
Maybe, but you're making that statement as if we have the ability to go back and watch every single throw from Russell Wilson to Tyler Lockett.
That's true.
That was one of his elite things.
Did you watch Seattle games now, Ali? Is that what you you just sit there and follow Seattle now?
Objection, speculation, hearsay.
I mean, Tua had. You can't say that he didn't move around in the pocket. Tua has that's one of his best.
I'm not talking about moving around in the pocket. I'm talking about getting outside the damn pocket where all the pressure's at.
That's what he did last year. He's done that.
Really?
With how much pressure he had.
Might I remind you guys that Tua had one bad season. Tua had one bad season. The 2020 season, that was a solid team, bro. Solid team. A solid Tua performance.
Wow.
I mean, he.
No. I'm just reminding you.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
Because people get misconstrued.
I've been as fair as I can be. But I'm not going to go back and argue what's on tape again. This is where I get myself.
All I'm saying is that 2020 season was not a bad season. It was a good season. That was 10-6 season. Had a very good defense. A way better offense than what they had last season. Because to be frank, the offense they regressed from 2020 to 2021.
Good point. We regressed one game, basically a loss. Or half a game.
No. You talking about records? I'm talking about performance-wise, production.
Well, I'm just saying, as Denny Green said, you are what your record says you are. You know what I mean?
Well,
I mean, records are winning records.
That was Bill Parcells, actually. Hear me? Culler, that was Bill Parcells' quote.
Culler, it feels like what we're arguing is what level of culpability does Brian Flores have over Tua's deficiencies?
But that's my point. Why?
I don't even know if I'm arguing.
How does that?
Because that's that's part of the whole conversation. That's
right.
That's the crux of the entire conversation.
John, is to say this is the reason Tua is going to be better, and I don't do that.
No, I'm just saying to give the kid opportunity because he has earned that and he deserves that, especially because we drafted him 5th overall.
Who on this panel has said that we should strip Tua of this opportunity?
No, but that's been the rhetoric this whole time.
Where?
Where? Have you not been listening
is this
to
rhetoric?
Dolphins Twitter for the last 2 years, 3 years?
Twitter. Okay,
Twitter's not just Twitter, but the national media. The national media too. What are you talking about, Culler? Are you trying to tell me that everybody's like, oh yeah, Tua's the quarterback. Tua's our guy.
That's because the national media is looking at the tape.
Come on, Culler. Don't act like that. There's been so much negativity around Tua. He's been the most. There's been so much negativity around Tua. If you're gonna tell me there's not been negativity about his quarterback, it's wild. That is wild. Culler, you really don't. You're really going to tell me
at the same time, Tua is not the only quarterback that's getting
tape
negativity.
down, and that's how you get rid of the negativity.
And that's what I'm saying.
Isn't the only quarterback that's getting negative though.
That's what I'm telling you, Culler. When he actually has an O line,
you're arguing with the entire nation, bro.
What?
The entire nation's
You're bringing up the national media. Now you're arguing with the entire nation's eye test.
I'm bringing up multiple things. I said
the national media does not represent the entire nation.
I think that there's not been negativity around Tua.
Okay,
come on.
That's right. National media
come on.
The national media represents.
Ali, help me out here, man.
Look at the game and say this is not a good product.
Am I wild?
I'm just picking a bone, Culler. I'm sorry.
Objection,
Culler.
The national media doesn't care about our little internal argument about what happened in the building.
I mean, there's question marks on Tua.
You don't have to.
Look, listen, I'm going to say what everybody in the room is thinking. Okay, Tua sucked because Brian Flores handicapped him. Have a good night. That's the end. That's the end. That's the story.
I've been sitting here up all night in the last 2 months telling people why I think Tua is going to be better on his own merit. I don't need to tell you why, because, this is how it was last year.
But why can't we talk about it? We can just talk about it. We're just chatting.
Because it's boring.
Okay, Color. But I'm just gonna say one thing. This is not an individual player sport. This is a team sport. So as a team collectively, you can handicap a quarterback, but you can also help a quarterback succeed. So I do agree with you. He is going to be better on his own, but at the same time, he does need better play from the offensive line. He does need better play from the wide receivers. It's a collective team sport. So I understand. I understand your point, Color,
make
but
the coach better or worse as well.
This is true. That is absolutely true.
At some point, the players have to play.
True.
Including Tua.
Yeah, no one's saying he's not going to. That's what we're saying.
But I see. Wait. I see Color's point though, because I honestly think about it. Tua was bitching and complaining today about, did you guys see this and see that? Honestly, because yes, psychologically in his head, he's like, I want to show you guys what's up, because all this, like you said, media and I guess Flores, whatever. But let's not think about that, like Color says, because we want to move on from that nonsense and just skip that narrative, bro. Now we're looking for the future. We're just trying to chill now. We know what we have, build in the trenches, and we're just
to Iceman's point, thank you for saying that, Iceman, because to your point, do you think Tua or his father, after watching those two interviews, do any of you think those two men are worried about what happened last year?
No.
Not at the slightest. No one's saying that.
Thank you.
No, I know, but Bryson.
All I wanted to know.
Yeah, but what Color's trying to get to you is that I feel you, Bryson, that you're trying to.
I'm not blaming Flores though. I don't.
Wait, hear me out. Hear me out. The past 2 years, I feel you that they've been slandering him, but that Color's trying to say, forget about that nonsense. Let's talk about right now. Let's talk about what's going on with our building. Forget about the past. We right now looking for the brightness. Like, let's be real, bro. The stuff that we got right now.
Yeah, we are talking about right now. We are talking about right now because we're discussing the article.
Wait a minute, guys.
We're discussing an article.
Iceman's point: if Flores fixes himself tomorrow, how does that help Tua?
It doesn't, because he can't build an offensive staff.
We are talking about now because we are discussing an article.
I'm talking about the article and the fact that all these narratives that are built by not just the national.
Now we have
Tua can still go out there and throw the ball in the dirt.
We've been speculating for so long, Color, both sides, Tua nons and Tua detractors, and now this is the first time we've had Tua himself in an interview. You shed some light on what happened.
Telling him who the hot route is.
No, Color, chill out, bro. Chill out. You don't have to scream, bro.
Tua's not an idiot, man. I think
49ers took a hit on their offensive line, by the way.
Who they lose? Trent Williams?
Alex Mack, their starting center.
Oh,
he retired?
He's retiring.
For real? He played for the Falcons.
That's a big loss.
Yeah, that's another. Hey, I think I know why people are starting to say there may be regression from the Niners.
Nick Swaggy.
Well,
I've been saying
if they go after Treader.
I mean,
I don't see. That's the thing. Treader doesn't. He has an issue with practicing because of his nagging injuries that he has.
He's going to retire.
Teams don't want to necessarily pay him top dollar to not practice and only play on game day.
He's going to end up retiring.
That's what I think is going to end up happening too.
Let me ask you all this, because here's a good one right here, from Aqua.
Flo got fired for holding,
and that may be true. And if that's the case, and everybody in the building was on Tua's side, including the owner and the GM, what the hell took Tua so long to tell us all this was going on?
He wasn't allowed to say anything.
Yeah, NDAs, bro. They signed NDAs.
Color. If the head coach
is support of the entire building and half the fan base, he couldn't have said something.
Color. It was media. It was media silent. Color.
Yeah.
That's how Brian.
In addition to it, I don't think it's Tua. It's not in Tua's personality to actually
watching him in college and stuff. He's not the type of guy.
Exactly.
Come Red Irving.
Better answer.
Yeah, man.
Color, nobody said anything in that building. It was media silence. We didn't hear anything until Brian Flores left because everybody was scared for their jobs.
Oh, right, because Flores had that power. Apparently, he's the only one that got fired, but apparently everybody
He's the
was
head
afraid of their
coach,
job.
Color. He's the head coach.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why he got fired.
He's the guy who
So none of them
decides
should
who
have been afraid
starts.
for their job. They should have done theirs.
Yeah, man.
Color,
they didn't know he was gonna get
that's such a
fired.
weird take, Color.
No,
he's the head
no,
coach.
that's what I'm
You don't
trying
think
to
he
say.
has any
If you're
control
afraid of
over the
your
things in the
job,
building?
if you're afraid of your job, you shut your mouth and you do yours.
Exactly,
You
and
don't
that's
worry
what
about whether that
everybody
guy
did.
is a bad guy or not.
And that's what everybody did.
That's ignorant.
No, they're being ignorant.
I mean that's one of the reasons why
That's
Kyle
why we
Van
didn't
Noy
hear
was let go
anything.
was because he came after him. He came after Flores. Flores didn't like that, and then he got rid of him.
Right, but we're talking about by the time the snowball was down the hill. I'm not talking about like day one.
I still
You have
think
to realize that
not letting him
you have
go
to
by
realize
week
that
7.
the Miami Dolphins organization was under heat. They were in the hot seat.
Wait a minute. Everybody agrees that if Flores would have got fired at 1-7, nobody would have had a problem with it.
That's true too.
So then why
That is
couldn't
true,
Tua insinuate something at 1-7?
Because Flo got fired, and then Flo filed a lawsuit, and then that was the heat.
Here's the other way to look at it. He was under speculation of trade rumors. You don't want to come out as a troublemaker when you're about to get traded to a different team.
Once that was locked down, obviously Chris Greer was not going to trade him.
Well, we don't know that. I mean, there was
really?
a team very
Then
interested.
you're calling Chris Greer a liar.
No, we were given wasn't it very well reported that we gave an offer to the Texans, and then
I don't know.
Came out and said
Twitter.
The offer to the Texans did not include Tua. Tua was offered to
no, it
another
didn't,
team
but if you
that
lose
I can name.
Watson, Tua's
Honestly,
gone.
bro, Bryson,
one
I feel like that was just the media, bro.
Carolina Panthers.
I mean, it could be that, but that's all we know.
Q, you're right. That is who I was going to mention.
You know, one day it's Flores is
Carolina
the only
Panthers,
one that wanted him. Now Chris Greer's a liar, didn't really support Tua, and wanted Watson too. Which is it?
I don't know.
Can we finally nail it down which it is going forward so we can function in some kind of reality?
I guess we'll never know.
It'll always be speculation.
It'll come out. It's slowly coming out at this point.
Well, but Color,
It's slowly
why?
coming
Hold
out.
on. Why can't both of those things be true simultaneously?
Because then Chris Greer's a liar in his
A
support.
liar about
for Tua.
what? No, why? No, hold on.
No,
why
because
can't you support? Why can't you
because
support Tua and
that
want
day,
Deshaun Watson?
There's been better options than Tua, and he hasn't pulled the trigger. So
I
he
hate
obviously
Deshaun, bro.
supports Tua.
I hate Deshaun. I hate.
Wait,
Deshaun.
how can you not support Tua if you want how can you not want Deshaun Watson while also being able to support
Deshaun?
Tua?
Hell no.
Because
No. That's how is that?
Drew
That's
Bashan,
not
Drew
possible.
Bashan. Drew Bashan.
Yeah.
Tua's our quarterback.
Sure.
There's nobody else.
Yeah.
There have been other options before this point.
Sure.
Chris
There's
Greer
Deshaun
did not pull
Watson.
the trigger on.
I don't want Deshaun.
I mean, from what we know, he was close to pulling the trigger on. I mean,
Oh, okay. So there you go.
speculation.
But did he or did he not pull the freaking trigger?
No.
He obviously did
Thank you. So he supports Tua.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
At this
So does
point,
Stephen Ross.
At this
I would-
moment, yes, he does.
So does
Color,
Stephen Ross.
I would
Who
say
has
I would
said he didn't support
I
Tua?
would say the whole organization supported Tua a little more when they went through the coaching process, and all the coaches sold them on saying, yes, we believe in Tua and he was misused and this is how you have to use him.
Right. So they saw the light, is what you're saying, and Flores didn't.
I mean, the energy has been different around Tua since we changed coaches.
They
Now,
saw
is
the
that-
light because they realized the dollar signs they could make. That's why they saw the light.
Well,
Let's
I
be
mean,
honest,
it will be either. I mean, dollar signs are made more by winning.
I think
That is true.
Can I say this? Can I say this?
Yeah,
I just
it
wanna-
is. But when
I
you've
just-
got a quarterback on a rookie contract, okay,
Hmm.
and he does end up panning out, you're in a golden situation.
Yeah, because you have all that money,
Yeah.
and that's why we got Tyreek.
Yeah.
That's why we got
Don't,
Teron
but don't act
they
like
did
I'm
this
supposed to say
offseason is
one day
exactly
that
what we
everybody
wanted them to
supports
do.
him, and the next day say, "Oh no, it was only Flores that wanted somebody." No, I'm not going to.
I'm not
going to
I'm
do
not
it, man.
saying it was only 4
Nobody said
of
that.
why Tua did average last year. I'm saying there's multiple things, and that's why Tua is going to rise above this next season, and why we should give him that opportunity.
Okay, that's
and
the correlation I
narrative.
can't make, Bryson. Right there, you just said
That's
it.
fair.
You said because of all the other stuff that happened before, that's why Tua is going to rise above it. No, Tua is going to rise above it because of his father's upbringing.
No, what I'm saying is that his environment that he entered into was not as good as he's entering into this season. I mean, the O-line's better, the weapons are better, the scheme is better, the coaching staff is better, the running back room is better, everything around him is better.
What would his father say about that? His father would say, "Do you, Tua?"
Yeah,
he may
do him.
That's not what I'm saying.
Let's face it, did not do him.
I think both of y'all are right. I like
The reason I think Tua's going to do better has everything to do with that. This is his 3rd year, and if you've been doing something for 3 years and you're not getting any better, that has nothing to do with coaching.
Okay, but
it has everything to do with his natural progression and being a quarterback.
Logic would suggest yes.
If you take the roster we had last year and you take the roster we had this year, he's going to do better with this roster. I mean, that's like
agreed.
That's my point, is that there's so many things in this situation where people don't even look at all these different situations.
Right, but you're conflating him doing better with his stats improving.
No, I'm not a stat queen, dude.
I'm just saying. You're saying we brought in all these other guys, so he should do better.
No, he will do better. Yes.
That's
an average quarterback. Listen, Culler. An average
not
quarterback
raise his ability, though.
Okay, but Culler, an average
his ability is what it is.
Culler, let me say this: an average quarterback could be
what
on
is that
team with this roster and
what is that, Culler?
And get to the playoffs.
At this point, the best we've seen him was Alabama.
So you're saying that maybe,
and that can be good enough. Yes,
later he's going to be better. He can be better.
I saw his highlight like in Arizona. I think he could be from there. Maybe we could get that too. That's what I want. Like the dude.
We have evidence on tape, Q, that he
so
can
the
do
4
better
or 5 games he was over 100 rating wasn't good.
Yes. We have evidence.
Yeah, and we'll call that the floor.
I mean,
we'll call that his floor.
Okay,
but we have yet to see his ceiling. We have yet to see his ceiling. So we cannot. There is no metric to evaluate that.
We hope we haven't seen his ceiling. Remember, this is all.
We haven't seen his ceiling, Drew Batron, because his ceiling is at least what it was in Alabama.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
No, but we don't know. No, well, hold on. Hit that ceiling again. Ceilings can move. Right? He may not. He may never get to Alabama again because of injuries. Right? I mean,
Why?
the hip because who knows?
This
is all speculation. I mean, he could be He could never reach. He may. There's a possibility that he may never reach.
Yeah,
I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at it a different way too. I mean,
hey, Mitch Roman says, real quick, guys. Mitch Roman says, I'm about to be a little bit ironic here, but Mitch Roman says, "Man never had a legit offensive coordinator besides his rookie year, but Culler won't mention that." So, by the way, shout out to Mitch Roman in that comment, just so he knows I would mention it. I don't disagree with that. It still has nothing to do with whether Tua is going to be better or not.
But it will help him, obviously.
No, it won't.
Yeah,
no,
it will.
It will.
Coaching is so big in this league. It's huge. It's everything.
It'll make him.
There's so much raw.
It'll make his production better, but his ability is what it is.
Also,
okay, but they can get more. Better coaching can get more ability and reach.
I see what Culler's saying.
No, you can't. If you can only bench press 150 pounds, and that's your max, no coaching in the world is going to have you come in and bench press 500.
Color, we're not arguing that. We're not arguing that.
We're not arguing the tangibles. We're arguing, proper decision making.
Yes.
Why?
That is an intangible.
No, it's not, dude. That's something you can be taught, dude.
You're talking about measurables, Color.
We're not somebody tells you the right decision to make. You keep making the wrong decision. That's an intangible.
Yeah, but that's something that you can be taught to start making the appropriate decision.
Okay. You can just be
Josh
taught to
Allen
start making the
sucked
right
his first 2
decisions.
years.
Yeah.
What was that, Color? Say that
A
again.
lifetime of
Allen
football.
had
After a lifetime
first
of
2 years
quarterback.
in Tua. And now he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Josh Allen.
Yeah, Josh Allen had a shitty sophomore
Josh
year.
Allen.
Yeah.
Go be a fan of him. It's a different person.
I'm not a fan of him.
Oh my!
I mean, I do.
Color, that's such a weird
Oh my
I'm
God,
saying-
Color! I think you need to re-listen to what you said.
Children.
It's a different human being.
But Color, you just
Okay,
said that
but we're
somebody
just showing
can't
you an
do something, and then we
example
told you
that someone
somebody
can
can
get
do
better.
something, and then you say go watch that person.
Drew Brees was not elite until he went to the Saints.
Man had the ability.
Color, but we're not arguing abilities.
Look,
We're just
problem-
arguing environment.
His problem wasn't decision making.
All right,
His
Color.
problem was taking some heat off of his damn ball because his arm was ridiculous.
I mean,
But now we're having a
All I
different
know is-
conversation now,
is-
Color.
is-
I don't even know what we're talking about
Look,
anymore. To be honest.
good coaching
Yeah.
isn't going to make Tua
I'm not saying that coaching can't improve
stronger.
production,
Good coaching is just
but you all act like everything that
Gonna,
goes away last year
bring
and that
out-
makes Tua better. I just don't.
out
I
his
can't.
strength.
How is that even
That's-
like?
all that-
Color,
Give him
ask
the
me this.
tools to be
Can
better.
coaching help Austin Jackson and Eichenberg block better?
We'll see.
No,
We'll
it's
see.
not
I'll say
Can
this.
Could
Can
it?
it?
Could it?
I'm saying can it?
going to make
Yes.
it. I
Could
don't
it?
think
Could it
Maybe.
help them block better?
the coaching. Yes,
Maybe.
man.
So
You guys
yeah.
make the objective statement that it will.
A coach
No,
called
we're
Paul
saying-
Hurst
I
is
I-
think it will.
No,
I think it
no,
will. I have a lot of faith that it will.
it can.
But I'm also
It
Well, I
can
don't.
help them.
Well, I don't.
Will it?
proud.
We don't.
Wait.
We
Can I
don't
just
know
say-
that.
Wait. Can I just say I used to be like a Pop Warner coach, bro, and for Sunnyland Sun Devils in Miami, bro. And honestly, bro, for the Pee-wees and all that, coaching, bro, does have a little matter into it. Like you can't teach people techniques and how to do
You're
the
talking
fundamentals.
about
of that.
children.
Pee-wee.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but,
Iceman.
talking
but
about
wait,
children.
color.
You're not
But at
talking
the-
about a guy that's
Color,
been
at the
playing
same point,
quarterback
at
his
the same
whole
point-
life.
No, but that's fundamentals, Color.
That's
He's saying
fundamentals, that's what I'm trying to say.
fundamentals. That's the basics. And if you go into a game without the basics,
Doesn't have the
you're
fundamentals.
more than likely to fail. If you go into a game with fundamentals, it'll help you increase your game
What I'm saying
and your
to you-
ability.
That's what we're saying.
All I'm
That's what we're
saying to you is he could have put better tape down and still got Flores fired. That's all I'm saying.
No, if we made the playoffs, I
So-
don't think you would have got fired.
If we would
Winning
have
heals
What?
everything, bro.
He could.
I mean, the 10
Color. Do you
season
can
should have been in.
Color? But so I guess the question. So do you think Brian Flores could have had zero impact on the tape, on Tua's tape?
Oh,
I didn't say that.
Okay, but then we all agree. But I think then we all agree.
there's no doubt.
I just am saying it has no effect on the tape he's going to
I
put
got
down.
a
going
little
forward.
example
How can
that
you
people are gonna
cannot
fucking-
understand that?
No, Color, but it can have it. Yes, it can. If you remove something, removing something can change something down the line.
Don't
That's
don't we
not-
don't,
That's all.
don't we
what
have
we're
two
all saying.
offensive line
You
Yes,
coaches
Color,
that
that's what
turned
we're all saying.
pretty mediocre offensive lines to better ones?
Color,
Yeah,
that's all we're saying. We're saying if you put a 10-pound weight backpack on somebody and you ask them to run a mile, and then you have them take it off a week later, and then you ask them to run a mile again, like
Or you
they're
coach them how
probably
to
going to do
run it.
better the following week, right? It's you. So you would have to say that, yeah, the backpack had probably maybe a negative
That's
effect on
supposing
how
that
that person.
10-pound weight can ever be taken off. It's the NFL, Drew Batron.
But Code, that's what we're insinuating.
You
We're,
do you
we're,
think-
we're
do you
assuming
think-
here that
do you
the
think
10-pound
that
weight
Buffalo's
is
DB
Flores.
Listen to me. Do you think that Buffalo's defensive end is going to not come after Tua's ribs because Mike McDaniel is the coach?
Color that's
No,
totally
it's 'cause
unrelated. That's a totally.
Armstead is on our line, and now we have Connor Williams. It's because we upgraded players.
Armstead doesn't protect that side of the ball.
But we have legit.
But we're going to
Like,
be
we have-
running the ball
we've-
more, so
We've upgraded players, and we're running an RPO with
Again,
no run.
making a prediction. We're going to be running the ball more.
Color,
Okay.
that's all we can do right now.
the coach even
June
said we're
3rd.
going
It's
to.
June 3rd.
That's not
It's June 3rd.
speculation. That's fact according to the coach.
We're going to run more.
Okay.
Why does it even matter?
Color, everything matters. Don't you think that everything matters, Color? I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. And the only thing that you guys think doesn't matter is the man himself.
Of course, I think that matters.
No,
too.
we think
Color.
it does.
I
I
think
think
all
Color.
of these things matter. Color. They all matter.
Yeah, that's only
matters.
a couple
We're
percentage.
talking about, like,
I have never heard. I've never heard anybody tell you say, but me, that Tua would agree with everything I'm saying right now. Nobody has ever said that. But you know what,
none
people?
of us know
He
Tua,
would.
so we don't know.
He'd agree with everything I'm saying right now, and you know it.
Because
otherwise,
Tua would only take.
I was imagining what I saw in his father's interview earlier tonight.
Let me tell you why I say I agree with what you're saying. Tua would only. He would agree with what you're saying because he would only take the criticism you have about him. Anybody else, he wouldn't say. And that's my point. You're only criticizing Tua. You have to criticize the team as a whole.
All I'm saying is every single time you bring up last year to say that that's why Tua is going to be better this year, you're degrading him.
Let me tell you this: when you blame Tua, you blame the rest of the team. You're supposed to evaluate the team as a whole.
I don't think it's the grading. I think it's just providing context.
I don't see how that has any bearing on what I just said.
Color, how can look? I don't think that Flores influenced every single aspect of Tua's game and his performance on the field.
You sure wouldn't know it.
I've literally said that from day one.
Talking about it.
Color, because you're insinuating that we're saying
I didn't
that Flores has everything.
You brought it up.
Color, because it was an article that was written today. Color, this is like
we're
talking about the article.
To bring it up on my show? No,
but you have people on your show to talk about it. I don't understand
why.
Because it's relevant.
We can all feel better about Tua
because it's June. We want to talk football. That's why. Something to talk about, I guess.
It's not football.
I think Color's messing with us, man. I think he's trolling.
I don't understand.
He is trolling.
This is all I'm saying.
He is trolling.
If you make an environment better around a player, they will perform better.
Yeah. When Color, when you said maybe, when you said maybe to coaching, helping Dieter and the discussion was over then.
What?
I don't know. I don't
Color,
know what you're talking about.
Color. What do you want to talk about? What do you want?
What do you want to talk about, Color? Let's talk what you want.
And I don't
Color,
know.
I want to talk about what you want to talk about, Color.
Let's talk about Tua.
Don't go there, Drew.
Let's talk about Tua.
I want to talk about.
Let's talk some more about Tua.
About something else. You don't want to talk about that.
So what do you think?
I'm not going there, Color.
Start making me think that you're mining me. Don't go there.
Color.
Okay.
Color.
Don't go there.
We're just trying to change the
I'm gonna try and pivot here. What do you guys think about Noah and how he's played?
He's dope. Keep it up.
Man,
according to Sam Madison, he's the first one in, last one out.
I do this show every Thursday night for you to mine content out of me. I'll never do it again. Okay? I don't need it.
Mine content.
Yo, Color, chill out,
We're
bro.
not doing that, Color.
Chill out, bro. You're very emotional right now, bro.
The passion.
Hey, listen. While everybody was on the Tua bandwagon, I was on the Noah's Ark. So remember,
oh man,
Noah's Ark.
My only thing is like, unless Byron or X get hurt, he's not gonna play on an island. So like,
I mean, no, but like they could take rest, bro. It's taking rest. You feel?
That's
like,
true.
X
Yeah,
can
that's
take it,
true.
you feel? All right, for sure.
No, I got that. That makes sense. I hope. I mean, we spent a first round on him. I hope it works.
We got a lot of depth, bro. And look out for Trill Williams. He's gonna have a good season too with Noah. Like they're gonna get some, rotation, no doubt. He's a
Trill Williams did get a pick in OTAs today, so it was a good thing. It was a good thing to.
Yeah, man. That's what
we all better hope that Noah is as good as they're saying he is in practice, because if he's not, man, that's a big wasted pick.
You got to take into account that it is OTAs and they, no pads on.
We can't.
I like Noah.
Wasted picks for.
What do we care about waste? Well, I mean, it could have gone to somebody else. I mean, we could have had somebody else. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, like Jonathan
We picked
Taylor.
projects at number 5 overall. So what do we care about wasted picks for?
What do you mean we picked
That
the
could be a
project?
wasted pick too, Color. Could be a wasted pick. Could be.
What? But why would you say we picked the project? Coming out, he was considered one of the most pro-ready. What are you talking about?
Injury, just because of the
He was injured.
I had
That's a
license
fair
to do
take.
that.
Whoa. That's a fair
Sorry.
take.
I didn't. I'm in my feels now, and I shouldn't be. I'm sorry, guys.
It's all good, bro.
I
Sometimes
No, I just want you to know it's all love, man.
It's a very taking Tua at 5 was absolutely a very speculative
Deal
pick.
with the Flores bullshit anymore, bro. I can't.
I understand.
I've tried to let sleeping dogs lie, and everybody wants to keep bringing up somebody else's linebacker coach.
Color, you have to face the fact that if it does come out and it pans out that it was that way,
It's not a fact, okay?
No.
I don't need to face.
if it comes out as a fact, if it comes out, you have to face it, bro.
So
I'll wait for the video tape and the audio recordings from inside the building, Q. Then we can call it fact.
Oh, okay.
how's everyone doing?
I'm gonna go sleep over tonight.
Otherwise, I don't need to talk about it. It's
I can't
water under the bridge, bro.
I can't wait for the for the security footage of Flores coming up and taking to his chalky milk in the cafeteria.
Oh, that's messed up.
I can't wait for it.
My milk.
Ones that make themselves look like you have a personal problem with it, man. Yeah, it's been months, and you're still bringing this shit up.
Well, we're not. We brought it
Oh,
up.
you coming after me, bro? Nah, bro. We brought it up because of the article. We brought it up because of the article.
And he goes out there and accuses everybody of slandering him, and we're still talking about him 3 months later. Yeah, he's got a point.
Well, it's not slander if it's true.
We've only brought it up because of the article, Color.
What? Groomertron.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Okay.
Oh, snap, my bad.
Group, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Ate Tua giving me the milk, or he just snatched it out of his hand?
Wilson even said it. Oh, okay. It's facts now because Albert Wilson said it. Why
What
don't
happened to
Albert
Albert
Wilson start catching the damn football and playing a little more?
Well, first of all, that whole thing about Albert Wilson didn't say shit. That's
He's with the
what
Vikings now,
that's
so
what
it's-
Perform said. Albert Wilson said. So we got to be
That's
careful because
hearsay.
people are. That's exactly hearsay. We're
Trash.
Every
expecting
freaking bit of it's hearsay.
the whole that whole Albert Wilson comment is. You
Albert
got to take
Wilson's
that with a
trash.
grain of salt because that's not from his mouth. If Albert Wilson came out of his mouth and said it to the public, okay, give it a little bit more weight.
As far as I'm concerned, I can list about 4 players that ever since they got here, we've had nothing but these issues. And Albert Wilson is one of them.
Yeah, and he gone.
He's trash.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Vikings. You can go to the Vikings.
So Nick
Bye,
is
bye,
lying.
bye,
Color,
Color,
take a breather. Take a
comment
breather,
up.
OG. OG.
Color, put
Hold on,
that
guys. Hold on.
comment
Color.
up.
That list, guys, so you know.
Hold on. Color, take a breather, OG. I know you're in your feels right now. Just take a breather
Color,
right
can
now.
you-
Come back.
can you-
Come back to us when you
Can
can.
you put that comment that John wrote about is Nick lying?
Let me see.
John R. wrote, okay, so Nick is lying.
What?
Nick, he's talking about Nick from Perform. Yeah, Nick from Perform has a vested interest in making Flores look as bad as possible. You have to realize that. Like, again, Culler does have a point here, again, with the whole slander of Flores. There are certain people within the organization that do have a vested interest in pinning things on the guy that's gone.
Objection,
All right? And
speculation.
Nick from
sustained.
Perform is absolutely
Overruled.
one of those people because he's Tua's trainer.
No,
Nick from Perform, it's his job to make Tua look good because if Tua looks good, Nick looks good and Nick makes more money. So yes, can Nick lie? He could lie about that.
And John's not saying he is.
I'm not saying it.
Just reminding you that it is plausible. That's all he's saying.
And Q to
The
what
comment-
you just said, what you said about speculation, that it's not as speculative as you think.
Yeah.
It may not be speculation, but we don't. I took
Really?
the comment from Nick with Reason. That whole interview, you got to take with a grain of salt because Reason has an agenda a little bit. Nick absolutely has an agenda.
Said, Drew Batron, that being said, I heard it was a fantastic
It's all speculation
It
at
was
this
very
point.
good.
It was
It was
a
very
great
good.
interview.
I heard it was a fantastic interview, and everybody should get over there and watch it. Subscribe to Reason's channel. He's part of the community too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't watch him. I personally ain't my taste. Whatever, that's fine. But he's doing his thing. Everybody get over there and like him.
It's
subscribe,
Everybody love everybody.
and
love
watch that
everybody.
interview because I got it on good authority. Who from somebody we all trust that it was a fantastic interview. And if you argue with that, argue with El Capitan. He's the one that told me that. So
No,
go there
I'll
and
put
watch
my
it.
I'll put my head in that ring. It was an exceptionally good interview, but again, what came out of the interview we shouldn't put like right as fact. It may be fact, but it may not be fact. And the people in there do have a vested interest.
At the same time, Drew Batron, I'm sure it does hold some value. Everything
it
what
does.
you guys are saying does hold value to me. Okay.
Yeah, I would say it'd be more speculative if it wasn't coming from other sources as well. There's other sources that have said the same.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I'm talking
They
about the
hate us 'cause they
specific
ain't it.
Albert Wilson quote because that
Yeah.
went viral on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere about
Those are
Albert Wilson
trolls.
saying they were having to like walk in single file lines and shit. Again, that wasn't nobody ever quoted Albert Wilson out of his mouth saying that. That was Nick quoting something Albert Wilson told him. But everybody's spreading it as, oh, Albert Wilson said this. And that's how it was written in the comments. And again, this is like you're hearing a third party with a vested interest saying something that somebody else said.
Yeah, you got a point there. Yeah, for sure.
I'm putting a disclaimer
Which
at
is
the bottom
why
of
you
that.
don't see any. Which is why you see no repercussions from the Dolphins organization for him saying things like that. Because whether he's lying or not, that is not something you will see any other organization's trainer be saying on a live YouTube broadcast.
He's a
So
private
no
trainer.
player
Albert
told me
Wilson's-
to do it.
Exactly. That's what
Hey,
Culler's
I'ma just
saying.
say
That's
this,
Culler's
though.
point.
Albert Wilson's trash show, and he's just trying to start some business. Like, if he wants that business, he can slide through, bro.
He's
We
not
gonna
even
bring it
here
to him.
anymore,
It's
so
all
Albert
good, bro.
Wilson
He
could
wants to
care
talk
less.
that
Did he get
smack. Let
signed
him, bro.
somewhere
It's
or
all
no?
good. We gonna
He's
smack
with the
him.
Vikings
I
now,
don't.
isn't he?
It's all good.
I would hold short of calling Albert Wilson trash, man. He did some stuff while he was here.
I know, but I gotta say trash because if he's
didn't.
gonna talk, if he's gonna talk that trash, I have to, disrespect him back. You feel me?
Okay,
And
I
think
get
something
you.
we can all agree on is I think we trust Mike McDaniel's, at least his outward personality that he's shown us so far. I think we can all trust that enough to know that whoever's not in the building right now was a problem. Because there have been Mike McDaniel has let some good and Chris Greer have let some decent players go since he's been here. Let's be honest. So anybody that's not in the building right now don't deserve to be there.
I think the
Devontae
only one
Parker is
that's
not a
seemed like
decent
Joe
player.
that I kind of wish stayed is Matt Collins.
Yo.
And if anybody wants to disagree with me on that, then you're just hating on McDaniel.
That's
I
true.
hate
There you go.
These,
See, I can be all absolute too.
Yeah. Hey, I got a question, but not Dolphin related, but it's football related.
I've been on hiatus, and I had a lot of pent up energy over the last couple of days. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're good. Cole.
Hey, you
I
good,
have
OG? You good?
That's why I tried to come out, talk family. I found that interview this morning. Tua's dad just totally inspired me today. I don't know about you guys, but I've felt completely inspired by that interview.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like being a father, like
Nick
I
had a
don't-
lot
so
of
important.
Nick had a lot of, by the way, in Reason's interview, Nick had a lot of really positive things to say about Tua's dad too, and it just kind of furthers to the point of the interview with him this morning. He seems like a real dude, like that guy. He's that guy.
That family is just amazing.
And you know what? It's possible, and this is the reason why I just can't do it with the thing with Flores anymore, because it's likely that Flores is exactly like he is, and that's exactly why they had problems.
They're both stubborn.
Be real, people.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hey, I got a question.
And the owner chose a side. It's his football team to do that.
Yep.
And if I call myself a Miami Dolphins fan, I have to support that decision. Bottom
I'm
line.
I'm a Patriot fan. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Get off this fucking channel.
Do it, Iceman.
What you
Do
have
it.
though? What did you?
You're
What was your
master at
question?
working.
Yeah.
I'm the sneak. I'm the sneak. I'm the belly cheat.
Now, I do have a question about football, something football related, but not Dolphin related. Do you guys believe that Devontae Adams was actually trying to get to the Raiders for several years, as was reported today?
Oh, I did not hear that.
I thought they had mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, but it's been like officially reported now.
Yeah, supposedly this is what came out today, actually, that he's been trying to get to the Raiders for several years now.
Interesting.
I don't know how I believe that. I don't know.
To play with Carr?
I don't know.
Play with Carr or just to be a Raider? I mean, let's face it.
Play with Carr, I guess. I don't know.
Him and
That's
Carr
what-
are really
what it
good
was
friends. I mean, they've been really good friends since college.
Oh, yeah?
I believe it.
I don't
There's
think
no reason
Derek
not
Carr's
to.
trash, honestly. I think he's an above average quarterback, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think Carr's an above average quarterback?
Above average.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think his heart carries him to just above average.
He's definitely top 15.
Because he ain't gonna quit.
in my list. He's top 15.
He ain't no Jay Cutler. He's
this
like
past season, I'll say top 15.
Matter of
for sure.
fact, I would say that he's a lot like Jay Cutler in his abilities.
Smoking Jay.
But with 10
Better
times the heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
love
see that.
Derek Carr.
I see that.
I'm a huge Derek Carr fan.
He got his Brandon Marshall, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, good for them. Now let's beat their ass.
For real. It's going to
Yes,
be an
sir.
interesting game.
Let's beat
Is that game
everyone.
in Miami? The Raiders game?
Oh, good
I don't
question.
know.
No,
I don't think so.
I think I think that's the week that we play them and then we play the
You're right. I think
Chargers
that's
like
part
right
of the
after.
trip out west. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Which
We play
gotta-
them and then we play
let's
Chargers.
face it, we could all say, "Oh well, let's make sure our boys are on."
And the
Jersey."
49ers.
There's way more. There's way more to be had in Miami than there is Vegas right now, man. So they'll be all right.
Do we?
No, we
gonna,
don't play. We only play the Raiders in the preseason.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't play them in regular season.
Oh, I'm
No.
thinking the 49ers. We play the 49ers and then the Chargers.
Yeah, in December.
This is going
See,
to be a
that-
little bit.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
that's tough. We got the second. You know, what do we got? What do we got? The second, or no, the third. We got the third seed in each division, right?
We were the third, so that would make sense, I think.
I mean, as far as the other divisions we play their third place finish.
This is going to be a little off topic, but do you think with the Njoku contract that might have priced Gesicki out of being re-signed here?
I mean, if he
Gesicki
balls out,
priced
he
himself
gets it
out
done.
the moment he got franchise tagged.
I mean, I don't agree with that because he could have easily fought for the wide receiver tag, and he wasn't controversial about it.
No,
He
I don't
wasn't-
think it.
I
He
think there
wasn't
was a
gonna fight
tough
for that.
sled though when it came to whether the NFL would approve it or not. Though I'm not sure. I heard that it was tough sledding on that front.
And
For
he-
any,
It's never gonna happen.
Here's the other thing. Even if he did win that, they would just be like, "Okay, well, we rescind your tag. Have a nice day." That's
wouldn't
exactly
matter.
what they would have done.
Like,
the truth is, the truth is, Gesicki's on borrowed time.
I was going to
That's
say,
basically
it's
what
just
it
a
is.
matter of if we find a player that McDaniel really could utilize, he may be gone right at the moment that happens.
Hunter Long, maybe. I don't know.
I also
I
don't
think-
like what Gesicki said in his little get together with the guys in Arizona. I forget what that show was. What he said, and basically, you'd never find him in the 3-point stance. I'm like, fuck you. You're going to be in the 3-point stance.
Yeah, but in OTAs, he's been in the 3-point stance. So, I mean, how much stock do you take in that interview then?
I feel that, yo.
I don't know if that's accurate because wasn't it McDaniel that said something today that they were talking about what wide receiver position they had him lining up and how they're going to do it, so you don't really know, if he's actually going to be, wide receiver.
He talked about him getting in the 3-point stance. a bunch.
I'm sorry, I'm at a disadvantage because I don't recognize your voice, and I apologize if you expected me to, like if it's rude to say I don't, but I'm not sure who you are, man.
No, I don't think anybody would know who I am.
Okay, gotcha. So it's just flowing. All right, just so I don't need to address you another way. But you make a great, you do make a great point. You make a great point about holding stock to that interview because Mike Gesicki is known to be saying really cryptic things before we even hired McDaniel during the coaching search. What he you know, I don't know what social platform he used, but he got the message out to Tua that they'll be throwing 40 times a game this year. And at first I thought, well, this might be he might be sliding flow by saying this. But then I thought, well, I looked it up and we threw for 36 times a game last year. Like, what is he saying by telling Tua that we're going to be throwing 4 more times a game? As if he knew something. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just, honestly, I really don't care for Mike Gesicki's attitude in the locker room. And I've said from day one that I think he's on my list, guys. He's one of the 4. Okay. Mike Gesicki is firmly planted on the list of people that I think has been poisoned in this locker room.
Could be. Yeah.
We'll see. We have a good tight end coach. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. We also have
I think this season determines, though, his future.
I think he takes
for
a
sure.
huge leap. I think he takes a huge leap, yo. You got Tyreek Hill to take off the free safety and the corner, bro. Everyone else is going to do so much with Jalen, of course.
Sure,
bro.
he
It's
could
gonna
turn
be
into a Kelsey
beautiful.
overnight. You're absolutely right.
But the thing is I think we've already seen him in the past.
Kelsey blocks.
I don't think that's what's in
That's
question.
right, Kelsey
It's
does.
The blocking.
The juice.
Right. And that's the thing,
if
though.
he can't, like McDaniels, he wants versatile players. That's all he talks about. If they
Right, and
can't
to
block,
flow is an
I don't think
a-hole's
they're gonna
point.
keep him.
To flow is an a-hole's point with the tight end coach.
Oh my bad.
It's likely why we're seeing him in a 3-point stance in minicamp. Like he's seeing the forest from the trees.
And he doesn't even have to be an elite blocker, but if he can become a somewhat average blocker, I think he's going to elevate his game. So
I would actually agree with
if
that.
he's
That's
in
a
the
good point.
past-
That is definitely a
in
good
the-
point.
If there's in the past, if he's on the field, we're passing the ball, and like you
Tony
just can't have a
Manzano.
player like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey
Like,
guys, what's up?
especially as a tight end.
Tony
And
Montana.
Aqua is sort of making the same point here. Kelsey don't block a lot, but he doesn't really need to block a lot. He just has to block more than just.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you have Gesicki and not to block, but just because of the weapons we have now, he can still be productive.
Well, his catch radius is ridiculous,
Yep.
man. I mean,
And then you have Durham Smythe at blocking. So
if you got the catch radius of Gesicki,
and Sony
you got the separation ability of Tyreek Hill and the ability to get to the ball no matter where Tua puts it.
Sony's gonna sacrifice his body for Tua, bro. If y'all
See how
saw he did
defense
the Rams,
I don't care if everybody
Don't
got
be dramatic, Iceman.
How did defense defend our offense?
Hey, fellas.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Talking about Mike Gesicki and stuff like that. For me, him not knowing how to block, I blame on Gotze because Gotze, for me, I think he teaches it. I don't think he used to be a tight ends coach before he became a offensive coordinator. And I think,
he was. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yes. He's actually coached Darren Waller's rookie year.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I kind of blame him a little bit because I think his style of coaching as a tight end coach emphasizes more about the receiving instead of the overall play of a tight end in terms of the blocking aspect.
To be 100% honest, I don't think he really blocked in college either. I think he was more of a
He
know.
didn't have to. He didn't.
that
have
was more a product of the team he was on too.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Penn State's
Penn State. My
offense,
bad. I'm tripping.
Ali, Penn State's offense didn't really rely on the tight end to block. That's the issue and stuff
Yeah.
like that. That offense was more received.
Which is kind of funny because they do run a lot too.
there's a little lag there. Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, no, but if Gesicki was at Alabama, they would have taught him how to block. I think.
Anyways, what I was gonna say is the scheme with McDaniels, they like to run what seems like a similar play. So you can't just necessarily put out Gesicki and you're going to assume a pass. He has to be in a certain lined up position, a 3-point stance, and then you have variations of that same play in the scheme. Where maybe in this time he's going to block, but then the next time maybe he goes out for a pass. I mean, so he's going to have to block it somewhat or go on a 3-point stance at some point. He has to.
Or maybe what they're going to do is have him
Because you want to disguise the plays.
Actually, you know what? With Gesicki, they might not have him fully block. Maybe they have him they don't have him fully at a 3-point stance. Maybe they have him the quarter way down and he chip blocks, then he runs out.
Well, he's likely to play like a flanker role, but to Flo's point, when you got guys like Durham Smythe that, with their improvement in their catch percentage over the last year or two, I mean, we had that sort of person right there ain't going to telegraph nothing to the defense because he can be straight down in the dirt blocking formation and still catch the ball at an 85% clip. You know what I mean? So, if Gesicki can just get some blocking down, the defense will absolutely have no idea what we plan to do on any given play with our tight ends.
Yeah, when it comes to the offense, actually, do you guys see us having more 3 tight end sets, having all 3 tight ends out and like 1 receiver?
I mean, why not? Especially in the red zone, given that Shaheen can catch the ball in the red zone, just as well as Smythe or anybody else.
No, honestly, I think Shaheen's gone. I think.
Well, even if he ain't, okay, so put Hunter Long there. I mean, either one. You know what I mean? It seems that our tight ends have, at least since 2020, have really improved with their catch percentage.
Yeah, and for me, I kind of like Hunter Long's play style because Adazio at Boston College teaches his tight ends how to block and stuff like that.
And by the way, I don't say improved lightly. I mean, we're talking about in Smythe's case going from 50th percentile all the way to the 85th percentile. Over 4 years, in other words, first 2 years, 55%. Second 2 years, 85%. I mean, that's a serious improvement. Now, granted, his sample size is lower than Gesicki's, but it's still a large enough sample size for the percentage to mean something.
Is it possible to have 3 tight ends and 2 receivers? You would have to pick out the running back, right? Am I correct?
I mean, 3 tight ends, but like you would have to be in I formation half of the time.
What's up, Mel?
No,
yep, we got you now. We got you, Flo.
No, what I'm asking.
And I'm not calling you Flo to be funny. I'm just calling you for short.
It's all right.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, but what I'm asking, Culler and Ollie, when it comes to the that aspect of the offense, is there a way you can have 3 tight ends and 2 receivers out on the field, or is that just you have?
Well, you could theoretically, but I think one of them would still have to report as an eligible receiver in that case. But he could still have his hand in the dirt. It's just a matter of the rules of having certain number of guys on the line of scrimmage and a certain number of guys off. So it really depends on if they can work that configuration. I'm sure they can. They would probably just have to report one of the tight ends as a receiver.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Which is routine,
Yeah, which is good. Gesicki would be the one that they would report as a receiver and have Hunter and Durham be the blockers.
Well, that's the thing, is just because they report as a receiver don't mean they can't act as a run blocker, so there's that.
Hey, Culler, I gotta bounce, my friend. I just want to say thank you.
I'm gonna probably give everybody last thought. I hate to do it because we got a bunch of viewers that, God, you guys are awesome. It's 1:15 on June 3rd, and we got like 70 viewers right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna give you my end.
Give us final thought, Ali.
So thank you all. I really do like Tua dipping in that positivity and confidence, and I love how he called out the keyboard warriors. I really love that. I want to see more of it. I don't want to do what Culler said and pump the brakes. I don't want to do that. I want to keep going with that. I do agree with a lot of the takes that were made today. Iceman, I told you so. I told you the Celtics were going to show up, and they're showing up.
God damn it.
I told you they would show up against the Heat and put out the fire, and they did. So, yeah. Saturday is Bring the Smoke Saturday on Late Night XL with me right here at the Fins Tailgate. Don't miss it. If you want to talk smack, you want to talk pride, you want to bring the smoke, all right, we're going to do it respectfully, but get ready for smoke. So,
Well, yeah. I
bring it.
mean, seeing as you just basically stoked the fire for Iceman, yeah.
Hey, if Iceman wants to like do some homework and come back with some real knowledge about who's gonna win, then
Ali,
then we can go back and forth.
Shots fired.
He said real knowledge.
No, I'll give him that.
fired.
I mean, the series is not over, so we still got to see. But damn, Ali, I'll give
You're,
you that one.
you're right.
Game one
You're right.
Game one is
You're
yours,
right.
though.
It could happen. Well, right now it's looking like it's my way, to be honest. But here's one, Iceman. You come on Saturday. I'll give you a topic. Who do you really think
Shout out,
is
Sean.
the GOAT of the NBA? All right, and then we'll go back and forth on that because who I think it is. I know only maybe one person here that may slightly agree.
Yeah, I know one too.
All right, no doubt. We'll hash it out.
So we'll hash that out on Saturday. But it doesn't have to be
Kareem
football, folks.
Abdul-Jabbar.
Any sport, any topic, call it out, and we'll just debate it all. All right, it'll be a big
bring
fire.
that smoke.
It'll be great.
I'm bringing that smoke to Ali, bro. I'm
Yep.
bringing it.
Thanks for that, Ali.
All right, you
On
guys
that
have a great
note,
night.
Before we
Have a good one, Ali.
the rest of the final thoughts, I'll remind everybody, please like this and subscribe if you haven't. If you the more we share it, the more people there are to talk to. You know how it goes. Make sure you catch us on Tuesday night, Tonk 7 with myself for TMI Tuesdays at 9. And then you got me, of course, Thursday nights, 10 o'clock, color commentary. And as Ali said, Saturday's now at 10 o'clock. Bring the smoke for this Saturday, but that's Late Night XL with Ali. You got our awesome proprietor of our network, El Capitan, every other night for the Fins tailgate, bringing it. All objective facts and the tailgate that never stops. You got a link in the description below to let fanatics know we sent you over there to get all the official gear you need. That's all they carry. And if you're feeling generous enough, $sign the Fins tailgate at Cash App, the Fins tailgate at Venmo, and I have word now that Capitan finally got the DBA stuff worked out, and we should be getting super chats back shortly.
All right.
We also got flip-flops if super chats aren't good enough for you, and sweaters, hoodies, woolies, whatever they call it, whatever part of the country you're in, tank tops,
And
hats,
flag.
and a flag.
Oh,
So now we definitely made our steak. You don't have a steak unless you got a flag. We all know that. So there you go. That all being said, let's see who wants to go first. I'll let you guys decide who wants to get out of here first.
I got work in the.
I'll go
Okay,
first.
here you go.
I'll go first. I'll be quick.
See that?
I'll be quick,
we
Color.
can argue about. We'll find anything to argue about around here, man.
No, I'm going first.
Go ahead, Droop. I know
Oh,
you're
okay.
mad at me, so you probably want to get out of here anyway.
Yeah, screw you, Color. No, listen, Color. I appreciate you, Chris, Ali. Always.
I know, and I'm sorry I said that about your mother, man.
Oh my god.
It's always a good time. It's always a good time when we come and we get to chat. And for the people watching, it's all love here. Like, we can go back and forth and
100.
Color can insult me, insult my intelligence, and I could throw it back, but at the end of the day, it's all love because look, I mean, I got the flag right here. We're the same family, right?
It's the greatest backup host in on YouTube right there, Drubitron. Tell us where we can find you outside of YouTube.
Right there.
Drubitron.
Twitch.tv/Drubitron. It's right there under my face.
Holding down the fort, the real Miami Dolphins channel on Twitch, the quintessential Miami Dolphins channel on Twitch. Get over there and follow him.
I mean, yeah. And I just made affiliates, so if you want to give me those biddies.
Oh, did you?
Bits. Yeah, I made affiliate.
That's huge, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get. I got some bits like stored, like
Oh,
laying around
sweet.
doing nothing. I'll get over there for you.
Give me those bits. And
Sure, man.
I'm planning some cool things. You know, I want to do some interactive thing. You know, the nice thing about Twitch is gives a little bit more interaction, things you can do in chat. So I got some things planned. So
yeah, everybody
check
get
me out
over
there.
there and help Drubichan quit his job.
Appreciate you. I would appreciate that, guy. And I'm on Twitter too. So
right
same
on.
name, Drubitron. Love you, Color. Appreciate you guys. Everybody here. Have a great night.
All right, man. Get out.
All right, Drew.
All right, I guess Q, you can go ahead, man.
Hey, man, Color, as always, man, it's a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me up here.
Yeah,
and
man.
giving us the platform.
Sorry, I yelled
giving
at
us
you.
the platform. Bro, right now, bro, we are far from screaming contests right now, bro. And you know, I don't even feel
how we rounded back round to respect, right?
Yes, sir.
Maybe.
You know, like Drew said, it's all love here, you know.
Right on,
and you
man.
know, I enjoy being up here. I enjoy being, you know, on the Fins tailgate. And you know, people don't get misconstrued, man. It's all love here, you know. I am a Miami Dolphins fan, by the way, so you know, I got love for the team.
Pillar of our community, and the man's a Steelers fan, you know. So there you go.
Again, man. Hey guys, hit that like button if you have. Man, you should already know the deal, bro. You should already know when you come in here, you hit that like button. I don't have to keep telling you guys, bro.
Tell them,
but
Q,
yeah,
it's like people that don't use their right hand blinker, man, in traffic. You know?
But thanks again, man. You know, I enjoy being up here, man. So I don't know, man. Something about this community that's so, you know, reassuring and so, you know, makes me comfortable, bro.
And if Tua ever becomes a Steelers quarterback, we'll still welcome you around here, bro.
But all right, man. You know, you guys have a good night. Stay blessed. Stay up. Fins up.
Yep, you too, buddy. Thanks. All right. Was it Bryson that had to work in the morning? Do you want to go next?
Yeah,
bro?
I do. Well, not early in the morning, but tomorrow, you know. So, hey, Color, I just want to say thanks, man, for having us on the panel. It's always a good time. You know, I'm been in the community for maybe like a month, and it's just been nothing but, you know, love and passion and just awesome.
I know. First time you and I actually went at it pretty good.
But Color, I want you to know, man, it's all love, dude. Like,
sure, man.
I appreciate it because, Color, you're passionate about our team, and I'm really passionate about our team as well. And like, it's just coming out of a point where we're just, at the end of the day, we're family, man. Because like,
yep, it's gonna be so different when we're winning, man. You know, like you said earlier, you made that point earlier.
Yeah,
you know, I did hear it.
Oh, for sure. And man, like, I just want to say that like I'm excited for this team, and I'm really excited for this fan base because like I grew up in West Palm Beach listening to my dad yell at the TV for 20 years. So like I've been there when we've just been at the dumps, and it's just so nice that there's like,
you're from West Palm. There's no way we could hate each other, bro.
No, of course not, man. And so I'm just excited for this team, and I'm just.
You gonna get back over here anytime soon?
Yeah, so I'm coming back in August. We're doing a Keys trip, but I'm gonna try to talk in the wife to letting me fly down at some point in time. I got a baby due in October, so it'll probably be at.
Congrats, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Probably be like late season, but I'm gonna make it down to a game, and I'll of course hit you guys up.
How long's it been since you've been home?
I normally go every Christmas.
Okay. So you're familiar with the changes around these parts?
Yeah, it's changed a lot since I've left.
Ridiculous, ain't it? So much development and
it's crazy, especially out in the
for like 11 years. I get back and I'm like, Southern Boulevard. This is like luxurious, man.
Yeah. Well, and like all gardens is spreading, and I mean it's great, man. I hope I can get back to South Florida eventually. I'll be looking for jobs here shortly.
Well, you know, it's easy for us to keep your seat warm here. We just leave it out in the sun.
Yeah, man, you got a point. So yeah, I'm excited, man. Thanks for having me on the panel. At the end of the day, it's all love and we family. So
yeah, man,
you have a great night, Culler.
Thanks for coming up all the time, bro.
Oh, of course.
And
I'll talk to you guys soon.
And if I remember correctly, thank you for your service too.
I appreciate you, Culler. I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir, man. You have a good
one.
Have
a good one.
All right. Flo is an a-hole, man. Give it to me. I know you probably you got the floor now, so you can give it right. Anything tonight, you can give it right back to me, bro.
No, I'm gonna be nice. No, it's nice to be up here, man. I don't think this is the first time here, but I just like the whole Dolphin community and the Twitter Spaces. It's pretty cool interacting with everybody. So I'm usually in the comments. I don't always come up here, but you'll see me as John in the comments. John Pendens.
Right on.
Yeah.
Just straight
So,
John.
John Anthony Pendez, you'll see on there. It's a
okay.
long one. Yeah.
Appreciate
But,
you coming up. I know we probably have some disagreements, but I can tell you, I can, at least genuinely say, my hope is there. You know what I mean? I just one of those people that don't believe. I do believe that faith enhances hope, but it's not. But hope doesn't require faith. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean,
hopefully Tua does what he needs to do to put us all on the same page. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just excited for the season, and honestly, this is I don't know if you've been in Twitter Spaces. This is like there's been some crazy arguments in Twitter Spaces too, but
Yeah.
But we're all arguing for the same thing, man. We all want the Dolphins to succeed. So
That's
in the
why
end,
everything it always does.
Yep. In the end, we all want the Dolphins to be good, and it's gonna be fun if we start off 5-6-0. And we could then talk our shit to everybody else. So
sure thing, man. And you obviously sound like a highly intelligent person. So, you're not that unintelligent people aren't welcome up on the panel, but that makes you a shoe-in to be welcome always on the panel, man. You don't, never. You're always don't ever think anybody. You're always here, bro. So we're here for you. You got a place up here anytime you want it, man.
Sounds good, Culler. Iceman, everyone, take care.
Yep, appreciate it.
Easy, man. Take care.
Iceman.
Yo. All right.
What's going on, bro? Give it to me. Somebody's got. I mean, I said some mean things after the show.
No, man, it's passion, bro. It's the passion of the football, bro. So
I
once
know.
it gets a hold of you, that's it, man. You let it go. Plus, we've sucked for 27 years, so I think that shit is over with. Honestly, bro. The stuff that
I just hope people realize that if I really didn't care, I wouldn't be spending one bit of energy on it.
Yeah, no, I feel that, man. Like, it's that passion, like it gets the best of us sometimes. And no, man, like honestly, like today was a good panel. It was a good show. And honestly, like, like I said, and like Q said, bro, like and subscribe if you're not doing all that good stuff, then I don't know what y'all doing. But yes, do that, please. And on top of that, bro, like today was what's it called? I like when we were talking about the fact about Tua and Brian Flores and all that speculation and stuff. I think that was pretty good though to like at least talk about it because we at least all got to see each other's opinions. And you're right, like everyone was kind of right on some point, but at the same time, we all had our little, and some people probably were watching in the panel saying, "Oh my God, what's going on right now? It's going crazy mode." But that's what we do. Is once the passion, gets all to all.
I know,
us,
right? That was light.
It's a good one.
That was a light version of it right there, man.
Oh, no doubt. And then it spreads. You feel me, like wildfire. So like, it's just like it's what the fans are, and that's why I feel like your passion, like for this team, is why we're all here. That's why we're here. That's why we want to talk about Dolphins now, past, present, future, whatever. Like that's why we want to be here, and that's
exactly
the best part, But either way, man, I want to just say good night to everyone. And FinsUp, we're about to go and do something very special that we haven't done for a very long time. So,
I tend to agree, and we appreciate you coming around, Iceman. Glad you became a part of our community, man. Glad you always come up too, bro.
Thank you for having me. And I need to know when what is it called? Super Chat is up or like and all that, so I could do another, So yeah,
sure,
no doubt.
Sure, right. They're actually like apparently, from what I understand, they're like tapping their foot on us. So now that we got that worked out, it should come back really quickly.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, all right, for sure, man. All right, well,
appreciate you guys,
man. You guys up. All right, peace.
Yep. Well, there you go, everybody. Tua's the guy. We're going. Tua's got a great support system behind him. His father is an amazing person, and I could only hope to ever meet him in person. Invitation's always there, sir. We'd love to have you up talking about your cause, Raising Champions. Everybody make sure you get over to Raising Champions and check that out. Let me give you one more. Well, I'll just stick it in I can type it in. He had mentioned it on the interview, and from what he was saying in the interview, they're really teaching these young kids some excellent principles, of work ethic. There you go. And, just what an amazing father, what an amazing family. And I think that it's really kind of, as I said earlier, it's inspired me because I really think that that's the type of support system you look for when you expect somebody to improve if they haven't maybe performed to the level that everybody expected. I have no doubts that whatever we do see from Tua, it's going to be the best version of him. And so fins up, man. We're getting it. 13-4. That's what I'm saying. 13-4. And I want everybody to know this is not betting advice, but I am going to be probably laying a bet down at plus 1,400 for Dolphins, Patriots, Bills, and Jets. In that order, that's the way the AFC East is going to finish. Fins up, everybody. Y'all have a good night.